What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Ooh, forgot I have my browser up. Want to bore you guys with that stuff. How we doing? Friday night. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Let me make my desktop look a little bit more presentable. Sorry, I was kind of running around. I actually had to run over my mom's to let her cat in because he's been outside all day, and they decided to go to the beach and, you know, be those people that, hey, everything's open. Let's go do stuff. Kind of jealous. Vincenzo, as always, nice to see you. Constantine, good morning. How is everything going over there with all of this? Everything kind of getting back to normal? So, let's see what we got going on for the weekend via some inspirational quotes. Trust your instincts. It's a pretty good one. I like it. I like it. My instinct is to start trading. We're going to start trading. What do you guys think of that? Think we should do that? You think we should just start trading? Might be beneficial to what we're trying to do here on the channel. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by let's start trading? Well, I mean, let's start trading, right? Let's take this little guy that we made up. It's our little cheat sheet here. Let's start using it. Let's start just taking the trades. Let's start not worrying so much about perfect setups. Let's just trade. Let's just do that. Yeah, I actually think I lowered it by accident earlier. Hold on. Just happened. Why'd that disable? How's that? Is that better? Better. I think a lot of it has to do too that I keep lowering my mic instead of putting it where it's supposed to be. That probably sounds a lot better now. Let me know. 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 Does this sound good now? I really need to shave. I need to get a haircut. I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to go get a haircut this weekend. All right. Man, look at Tesla taking a dump today. An absolute dump. The SPY looks pretty similar. These charts look almost identical. SPY actually tried harder than Tesla today. All righty. Where do we start? Should we just start going over the week? We didn't make any trades today. We forced a trade yesterday, which ultimately led us to a red day. Did that put us red on the week? I think it did. Let's see. 9. We didn't trade on Monday either? Was Monday the 8th? Yeah, we didn't trade Monday. Monday. Let me go. I don't remember really what happened on Monday. Did we just not trade? I mean, obviously we didn't trade. Let's see. The 8th. Let's see. Here's today. Or no, that's yesterday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Here we go. Yeah, I don't even think we put a video out that day, did we? 3 days ago. Yeah, we did. Wait, missed? No, that was on Tuesday. Huh. Interesting. I don't remember Monday at all, but obviously we didn't trade. So we only made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. 5 trades this week. Definitely in the red overall. If we look at just this week, we only made 26, 30, 37, 38-ish dollars, and we lost 101. So not a good week. Not a good week. Should have only lost 20 on SERV. Really, I think that's. I mean, let's just go through all the trades. It's only 5 of them. Let's see. Not our best week. So this one was actually on Interactive Brokers. This one wasn't too bad. It was kind of a top. Felt the bottom there before it decided. Actually almost got down to that previous resistance at 5. Then it took off. So good exit by us. Then we had TZA, which was nothing. CERS. I believe TZA we scaled out of this? No, we stopped. We got stopped out. That's right. Had a good cover on the bottom there. Was looking for more, and we ended up getting stopped out. I do remember that now. And then CERS, we did get our full scale out on this one. Just unfortunate using the pivot for the remainder there. We were looking for this to go even lower. Didn't quite get it. And then good old SERV. We all know what we did here. So I talked about it a few times day of, but we definitely messed up. Previous resistance here at 34.50. Not a real extension. You guys hear me say it all the time. We're looking for bigger candles than the ones it's previously made. This was not a bigger candle than previously made. Now we got in. We actually did start getting that breakdown to that previous resistance, but we were looking for it to go through because we weren't that extended. So that wasn't that big of a move. And we were looking for more. And we kind of came back up, tested 35, consolidated here, 35, 35, 35, kept testing it, and then it went through, right? Cut. Should have been a cut right there. Would have been a $20 loser. No, we decided to fight this thing. Literally, all of these candles are just green. Just grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded. So, as you can see, we actually did take a second trade here. We saw it come up, make a new high, kind of faked out, came down, failed to go higher again, and we were looking for this key support area here to break. We got in for the break, and as you can see, it did continue down. Didn't quite give us what we wanted. We were looking to stop out at the highs if it wanted to get there. Came down, actually made another lower high. So we were feeling pretty confident with it, but then right here, it found support at the same level again, and it started to go back up, so we took it off. And as you can see, it did hold support there. Eventually did try to go back up again, and throughout the rest of the day, this thing actually climbed up over 37 later in the day. So actually, we can take a look at it right here, or up, wait. I could have swore this thing went higher. This is only into 1220. Let's go take a look. But yeah, that was my trades for the week. Pretty slow week. SERV, let's take a look. I was about to get yelled at. So it was actually in the pre-market. It actually went all the way up to 39. There were some prints up there at 39. But yeah, so when we got out somewhere right in here, and then as you can see, it climbed pretty much the rest of the day for the most part. It did eventually drop back down here, a little bit of a hangover coming after all that craziness and after hours in pre-market. But this is what it is. We'll move on. Wasn't a big deal. Kim, what's up? Apparently you're now the Kiminator. Oh boy. How was your week, everybody? Was it as interesting as mine? It was kind of slow. Kind of excited for next week. Kiddos go back to school. Well, the oldest goes back to school. The youngest is going to try school for the first time. He's going to be going 3 days a week to start, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Monday, besides my wife, will be a pretty quiet day. Pretty excited. Can actually focus. What stops you from taking more trades? I think I'm averaging 3 to 4 trades per day, and all of them start with intense move. Well, I think I was just talking about this to myself and to David a little bit earlier, and to Brian, about how I'm just so particular. I'm just too particular. I'm looking for those A+ setups and only because I'm trying to build a small account, and inside, part of me does not want to risk, which is kind of silly when you really think about it. If I'm risking, let's just pull out the calculator. But I'm around 40, I'm at 4,072 at the moment, but let's just use 4,000 as a general round off here. So 4,000, and say I want to risk $100 a trade. I would need to lose 40 trades in a row to blow up my account. It's like, am I really going to lose 40 trades in a row? I don't think so. Not with this strategy. But the problem is part of me is saying, I don't want to take trades that I have a higher risk of losing. But at the same time, these trades that I'm not taking, I know that the edge is not as good as the setup that I'm looking for, but I'm also not possibly winning the money that I could have if I would have taken the trade. So it's like one of those there's basically two solutions to this problem. First one being stop doing what I'm doing and start taking more trades, just not exactly, instead of looking for the perfect setup and the perfect setup is it goes high of day above a previous resistance and extends itself away. That's A plus setup. I could start adding, like today, there was a few of them. I believe, I'm trying to remember, GDT had mentioned it. I can't remember what it was, and I don't have it up from earlier. But it was a good intense move. It was just in a range. It was like inside of like low of day, high of day, and I can't remember which ticker it was. Crap. Now I kind of want to go check because I feel like it's a perfect example. Hold on. Let me pull up my source file. Or my source file isn't gonna. Well, it might. I know it was near the end. Give me 1 sec here. Let's get rid of the sound. It was not JT. I think it was not Vixie. No. Oh, there it is. Was it this one? Yeah, it was. Okay. So CLDX. So basically, this one out of nowhere, I think it was this move. No, yeah, it was right here. So it came down, it made a low, and it was coming back up. It actually halted here, and it came out of the halt, right? So this was a pretty big move, and we just, I don't know, we just didn't take it, right? But even though this is a pretty good intense move, right? There's really no, this is no different, the intense move, as it would be up here. The only thing is I've found, just from my almost 2 years in the market, that if we break a key resistance area like this and we get a nice extension, the odds are it's going to come back down and test that previous resistance and try to use it as support. Or if it wants to fall through and try to use it as resistance again. To me, I guess I just don't have a lot of experience with this, but I wouldn't know how to trade this, to be completely honest. But I'm assuming it trades very similar. I just wouldn't really know where to reference. I mean, would we reference here? Like, is this that same, like, are we looking for the same kind of a play? Just a nice push through and then we're looking for this to retest? Like, personally, I just don't know. I've never really watched these, so I don't know. But I agree. It's something I think I need to start doing because I feel like these moves are almost no different. And in reality, you have a good spot to risk off of. But I think in the past, I've seen these where you're in a range, like here, like a set a low and you have a previous high. So you have a range here. The odds are usually when you get a move coming up, you're going to try to retest that area, right? That's where the supply zone is. And obviously it didn't get there this time. But sometimes when you get to that supply zone, if it's strong enough, you eat through that supply zone and then the liquidity and the stop losses and all that is right on the other side of that. You get another push, right? And that's why I don't like to play double tops. So it's kind of like putting me in between a rock and a hard place, because if I play these in between moves, I would just be a little flustered on how to play them. I feel like I would lose a lot more than I would win. Like it's one of those things. To me, it's not as high of a win percentage type move, but at the same time, I feel like I really shouldn't be playing it any differently if I do want to play it. So yeah, I go back and forth with it. I really do. It's just one of those things where I need to start exploring those options, because I do hate that I'm coming into weeks like this and I literally made 5 trades all week. Like I don't like that. I feel like I'm to a point where I should be trading much more than that, like you had said. So, oh look, GDT's here. What's up, man? Appreciate you letting me know. I totally couldn't remember. Ooh, GDT got that Amazon card, I'll bet. I'm still like, I was still kind of annoyed that the person that got it didn't comment. I was a little annoyed, but I mean, at the same time, is what it is. You know, I'm just, that's my way of giving back. If they don't want to let me know that they got it, then so be it. It's none of my business, I guess. You know, most of those I cut for a loss are not bigger than 0.25R. It does have a lower win rate, but profit ratio is not affected that bad. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. It's an emotional thing for me. I guess you could almost call it scared money when looking at like a new setup like that. I guess I haven't traded it enough or almost at all to kind of have faith in jumping in. And you can kind of even ask GDT when he even first started getting into 112. I think it took him like 3 or 4 months to really kind of feel convinced enough to give it a try. And so, yeah, I really need to kind of start watching GDT and Brian and just start watching more of the trades that they take and really kind of start looking into how I could probably start taking the same types of trades, because they're taking the same types of trades of me as I do. They're just taking some that are like within a range like this and stuff like that. Brian takes a lot more just because he's crazy, but yeah. Hey, Thomas, welcome, man. Yeah, better late than never. The Amazon card thing, it was right at the end. Here, I'll just show you guys since somebody got it. So I basically made you wait till the end of the video, but I threw it in right at the end, down in the bottom left. What's that? Oops. Ah, crap. What did I click? And yes, I watch everything on 2X. So right down there in the bottom left, you can, oh, I guess you guys can't see that. Hold on. Come on. There we go. Oh, what'd I do? What the heck is going on tonight? All right. That's full screen. Oh, my geez. All right. Not full screen. Can I get rid of this? I mean, you can see it down there, but if you pause it, and usually when you click away from it, that'll go away, but for some reason it's not going away. Theater mode, maybe? I don't know. I mean, you can see it right there, but that's what you just go to Amazon, you input that code in the gift cards, like redeem a code, and it'll redeem it. So that's all it is. So just X that out. Coco. Normally I don't like ranges either, but I don't count it as much when the range is defined from pre-market. Yeah, I get that too, but I tend to use yesterday's high a lot. That's why I love this green dotted line. And that's what I saw when I pulled up CLDX, because I'm pretty sure I even said that in the stream this morning. That move actually busted through market hours high of day. Right. And see, that's the other thing too, is yeah, the market, I guess it was right there at the open. I am not a huge fan of stocks that rip off the bottom. Like they'll make a move down and then they'll rip off the bottom. I'm just not a huge fan of those, because to me what that's saying is you've kind of ran out of sellers because they tried to exhaust it. And now if you had short sellers in here, they're starting to sell off or cover out, because obviously the price didn't go lower, especially here you made a higher low. Buyers start to buy, and so you get these pushes, and a lot of times it'll create the imbalance going the other way. And like I had said earlier, you have these supply zones, whether it's from pre-market or like yesterday, that's where the high hit intraday. So to me, I always look for those areas to get touched again, and I can't tell you how many times I've been burned trying to play double tops, because I'll get in for the double top and then the thing will just blow through, right? And then we'll get that huge extension through, and I'm already in all the way down here when my first entry could have been way up here. So that's kind of what scares me away from these when you're in a range like that, because if you're in the middle of a range, the odds are this thing's either going to want to go back down to the bottom or it's going to want to go up to the top. And I never like to play in the middle of these ranges because basically to me, you're guessing 50-50 on what the thing's going to do, right? You don't know if the sellers are going to step back in. You don't know if the buyers are going to, continue to step in, get up to this double top. And then when you get to the double top, are people going to sell that were underwater from here? Like, are they going to burst through? Like, obviously you don't ever know what the stock's going to do. You can only just put yourself in a high probability situation. And I don't know. I just don't think that is a high probability scenario for me. And that's why I usually don't play them. That's all. A double top is a double top until it's a bull flag breakout. No, I agree. Well, I don't look at patterns. I call it a double top, but really I'm just saying a resistance. I do value support and resistance. I do think that that's the one thing that gets used in all time frames, no matter what you're looking at, et cetera, et cetera. Patterns, I don't really like. Bull flags and stuff like that was whatever. I double tops I do believe in just because it's a resistance. That's all. Let's see what Thomas said. I just want to scroll back up real quick. The account size has a lot to do with what you take and when you take it, in my opinion. You want A++, and then they have room to take A+. I mean, yeah, that's true. House money is a real thing. And there's some people in here now and as well as in like the ISW chat that will tell you that. It just, when you can kind of throw money at trades because it's house money, it's a very different feeling. And I haven't had that feeling yet. And I know what that feeling feels like because I've played a lot of poker in my life and I've had some pretty good hot streaks at the table to where you start playing hands a little bit looser than you normally would. And you start hitting some pretty big hands with hands that you wouldn't normally have played. Because you're playing with house money, that's kind of, I'm assuming, what it feels like. Yeah, like GDT just said, house money is definitely a real thing, less emotions. And that's the thing, is this is my account. If I blow this account, I don't have a backup account. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And a lot of people are going through the same thing I am. So you're fighting yourself to not trade with scared money, but it's scared money. If that makes sense. You don't want it to be scared money, but it is, unfortunately, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to beat it. You have to either build the account to get away from it being scared money, or you have to just get over that fear and stop being scared of losing it. And it's hard. It's a real thing. It's really hard to do. Kim, I don't know who won. I was expecting whoever won to comment that, hey, I got the gift card, thank you. But that never happened. But as you guys saw, every time you hit the like button in one of the regular videos throughout the week, that's going to count towards the Amazon gift card that I give away the next week, if you didn't see that video from earlier. So when you watch my videos throughout the week, make sure you hit the like button because it'll increase the value of the gift card for the next week. Just kind of a way to give back to you guys for the support you've given me, and as well, just a way to try to help build the channel, right? I give you guys some money. You guys hit the like button. Hopefully it grows the channel. Get more people, more likes, more money, give them back. Just kind of a win-win for everybody. Yeah, GDT, I lost plenty on those double top fake outs. Yeah. The fake outs, I mean, those I can understand. That's actually what this UK strat button is for. So like say this kept going, CLDX, and it came up and busted through this dotted green line, and even like this pre-market high of day that it's set here at 1035. Say it went up to 1050, through 1050, and then faked out and came back through. When you get back down into this range that it's set, like right, we got the bottom here, we got the top here. So if it tries to go through, fakes out, comes back into this range, that's what this button's for. You basically risk off the new high that it's set right there, looking for that to be a fake out breakout, saying, hey, we don't want to leave this range. And then you look to just try to ride this thing down as far as you can. Obviously you can scale out, you can do whatever you want, but that's what this button is. I'll probably up that risk, but it's very new to me, but that's what that's for. That's exactly what it's for, is looking for those double tops to kind of bust through and fake out. So I've been watching those for a few weeks now, I would say like 2.5 weeks, and it works pretty often. I mean, we see fake out breakouts all the time, but actually being able to capitalize on them, it's something I've never even honestly thought of. I'll just be like, oh, it was a fake out, because my strategy right now, right, is to look for those extensions through that resistance. So if it would just fake out and go back down into the range, I wasn't interested. But now I have a button to try to capitalize on those situations. I'm pretty flexible, though. I can lose money on anything. Yeah. Do you use the Elliott wave? What is the, okay. I usually like to say I know pretty much every strategy out there, but the Elliott wave, I've never heard of that. Is it in here? Let's see. Sounds like the turtle soup play. The Elliott wave. I don't see it in here. I do not know what the Elliott wave is, Zeddy. Let's let's do our quick research here. I'm gonna type stocks for stocks. Elliott wave. Elliott wave stocks. Elliott wave explained. I don't know if I want to listen to this. Like, I don't know if I want to have the full video in here. Definitely don't want to have music. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if he starts drawing lines or anything. Oh, this is a 4x chart. So he's just showing a W pattern? Oh, it's literally the fake out. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So basically, I mean, you could almost say this is exactly what it is. If I can draw as many lines as this guy. Let's see. So he's saying you get the move down. Then you get the move back up. Then you get the move back down, even lower. And then you start coming back up like this. And then it makes a higher low. And then it does it again. And then there you go. Elliott wave. Boom. I mean, at least that's what the guy was drawing. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. But no, I've never heard of it, and I don't really use it. It's mentioned by B in the Learning Center. Ooh, geez. Apparently I need to go back to the Learning Center. Let's take a look. Am I still full screen, by the way? I don't even know if I changed back. Yeah, I am. Whoops. Elliott. Oops. Intensity. Stock watch. Okay. It used to be one of the first ones that popped up. Intensity. There it is. Oh, I was typing it wrong. Let's pull this over. Let's see. Member login. Member login. Learning Center. You have any idea where it's at? I have zero clue where that would be. Considering float and volume, probably not. Tips and insight, maybe. No, I don't think it's in there. And so, oh, and some of the vids he talks about him. I feel like I don't remember him mentioning that at all. Don't remember which section, but it is in there with pictures, etc. Is it just the main one? Like, is he considering like this? Oh, it's not on this page. Making sense of probabilistic trading. Not on that page. Charts, maybe? Charts and technical indicators. That would make sense. Elliott. There we go. Elliott waves. There we go. Conceptual Elliott wave. So let's read it, just out of curiosity. Elliott waves. The Elliott wave theory, from a theoretical perspective, can be extremely complex, intimidating, and impractical. To grossly oversimplify, the theory states that the ebb and flow of the market moves as a series of waves within waves within waves. If you consider waves at the beach, you can imagine a small ripple on the top of a wave, on top of a swell, on top of an incoming tide. The tidal movement is a major movement, the swell is a minor move, the wave is a lesser move, and the ripple is an even smaller move. Each wave has its own duration, magnitude, and direction, all of which influence the subsequent and surrounding waves. It's a perfect theory because there is always another wave, ripple, or surge that can explain what is occurring now. This may sound useless, irrelevant, voodooish, and so on, but stay with me for one more paragraph. From a practical standpoint, Elliott waves are definitely worth mentioning and should be considered a subject for further independent study. Stocks do often move preciously in the pattern despited by the general theory. Learning to recognize that what wave the stock is... This color font on this background is like hard to read for me for some reason. Learning to recognize what wave the stock is currently within can dramatically influence how you go about trading it. The essential flow of an Elliott wave is wave +1, up moderately, wave +2, slight retrace, wave +3, large uptrend, wave +4, small retrace, +5, small up, -1, down moderately, -2, slight retrace, -3, large downtrend, -4, small retrace, -5, small down, repeat at +1. In practice, focusing trades around waves +3 and -3 allow you to participate in major moves with set risk established by waves +1, +2, or -1, -2, respectively. So basically, it's saying you're looking for 1, 2, and then you can get into a move looking for 3, and then you can set your stop loss based on either 2 or 1. Same thing over here. You get the move down, 2, and you come back through, and then you're looking for that big move 3. So it makes sense. Let's see. He's got this is actually a little bit of slideshow here. Okay, so we got an actual chart. So we got 1, 2, and then you got the big move 3. So you could be risking off. It's almost kind of like a resistance here, started to be used as support, and then it makes the big move up. Coming back to the other way, you got -1, -2, and then -3. And then you could be risking off of that same area. So makes sense. Let's see, or is that just it? Just 2? Okay. So not too bad. It is there. I think that kid Elliot's a real jerk. Elliot, it reminds me of the show Holy Crap, where he's a hacker. Wow, brain fart. Elliot hacker show. Why am I having Mr. Robot? Jeez, what a mind blank. I wasn't even close to thinking of that. I'm impressed by my memory. I didn't expect to remember something like this. It's a theory more complicated than you think. I tested a couple times, or a couple of months, and it works. I'm sure Vincenzo will have a new Elliott wave account, or a new Elliott account incoming. War games. You know, it's kind of funny because looking at the Elliott wave and reading it, Devin from the Discord, the guy I've been trading with since I started trading, that's exactly how he trades now. Let me see if I can find a couple of his charts real quick. His pancake charts. Let me scroll up here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. All right. Well, I guess, I don't know. He does it on the short side, but he doesn't really do it on the long side. The long side, he's just been buying breakouts lately, which is always confusing to me. But so here's one of his pancake charts. See if I can zoom in here. But essentially, I guess not really, but you can kind of see he looks for stocks that are coming down and they continue to make, this is actually a pretty bad example, but he looks for it to make a high and then he'll look for it to keep failing and making higher low or lower highs, and then he'll look to jump in on a bounce to, like, you'll see this line coming across here. He likes to use EMAs too and whatnot, but He's been really consistent with it as of late, so I can't say whatever he's doing isn't working. That's Mr. Wave to you, GDT. Sorry, Coco. You have to admit, Vincenzo, you've been pretty pissed off that I found out you were Coco. I don't even know what made it click that day, but it did. Something clicked, and I was just like, that's Coco. I knew it. Don't question mark me. Next thing I know, my red dot will be talking to me. All right. Anyways, let's try to move forward a little bit here. I do want to thank everybody that has jumped in and hit that join button, by the way. You guys are awesome. I think there's 4 of you now. Woot woot. Tomorrow night, we'll be doing our first Saturday night strategy talk. Apparently, we have some good strategy to talk for even my strat, right? Moving forward, what are we looking to do? I mean, I plan to do that with you guys right now, but can really dive deep. Wait, Weeble just sent me that 50 free stocks await you. Let's hear this crap. You can earn up to 50 free stocks when you deposit the required amount, not including deposits made prior to this promotion. You will not receive any free stocks if you participate in this promotion without receiving a push notification or an email invite. Sharing this promotion with others does not guarantee them the same rewards. You will be able to claim your free stocks on August 5th. That is a total of 30 days where you cannot withdraw or transfer the deposit. Now, how much do you have to deposit? Thank you for being a part of Weeble. We are so grateful you're here. Here's a little promotion just for you. Between 6.8 and 7.5, you can earn up to 50 free stocks. How do you earn them? It doesn't say that part. Into your Weeble. Each stock is valued between $900 and $1,400. Well, what the heck? It doesn't tell you how. Limited time only. Deposit tier promotion. Deposit and earn it and get up to 50 free stocks. So I guess it's just saying you could get up to 50 free, so you're probably just going to get one. They're getting on my nerves. I get like 3 or 4 emails from them every day, even after I unsubscribed. Pivots, same thing basically. Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like to me. It kind of seemed like pivots for the most part. Did you say you're going to be having Devin as a co-host? I don't think he's directly going to be a co-host, but I'm going to be talking to him on Monday just because I miss his voice. And I'm going to be streaming. So in a way, yeah, he's going to be a co-host. I guess I should probably let him know that ahead of time. I believe I'm going to ask David if he wants to join us as well. But we'll see. I think he gets very focused when he's trading, so he doesn't really talk much. But Devin, he loves to talk, so I'm sure that'll be I was just thinking of ways to use the no kids being around time to my advantage, and I thought having some other people kind of talk on the stream would be pretty cool, kind of keep things fresh. Please explain to us what index means. What do you mean by index? Like an index fund? Like what part? Like what do you mean exactly, Zeddy? I mean, index could mean a lot of different things. Yeah, we're going to see what happens on Monday. I told him he has to go out and get a headset because he kept trying to use his laptop mic, and you could hear everything through his mic that you were hearing through his speakers, and that was just a no-go. So I told him he has to go out and actually get either a headset or just something so that just even a simple pair of headphones so that we can't hear his speakers. All right, as I'm waiting for Zeddy to respond, I'm trying to think. I have one other thing I wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember what it was. Did you guys like the new 10-second countdown before I came on? I don't know if you guys, most of you probably didn't even see it, but I thought that was a pretty cool addition. That way I'm not just like randomly popping on here whenever I want. Now I can actually give you guys 10, I guess with the intro, it's like 14 seconds to kind of be like, oh, here he comes. And I love the bomb ticking down. That was I totally love that. Oh, the join thing. That was one of the things I was talking about, how I was saying thank you for that. Yeah, we'll be doing our first Saturday night strategy talk, which is for the members of the high level support that we have here on the channel. Kind of my way of giving back for you guys supporting the channel. So I'm trying to do that with the gift cards as well. I started doing the math in my head and I was like, man, 100 likes over 5 videos probably isn't that hard to come by. And I was like, man, that's $25 a week. I was like, my channel is not making $25 a week. But hopefully, as it grows, the problem is I think if we keep growing, the amount that I give away on the gift cards will always be higher than the amount that my videos are making. So I don't know. The NASDAQ S&P 500, 100. Is there a S&P 100? You're kind of getting out of my realm and my territory there, Zeddy. I honestly don't know too much about that stuff. It doesn't really affect me in the way that I day trade. And I feel eventually when I'm consistently profitable in the future and I'm not so hyper focused on what I'm doing to try to become profitable as a day trader, I'll start to really learn about all that other stuff. But none of that stuff really affects my intraday trading. So I've never really took the time to learn it. So to be honest, I wouldn't be the best person to ask about that stuff. Do you feel like you've had more watchers on your daily live broadcast back when you showed your scanners running? No. Even back then, when I was running the scanners, I only had like 8, sometimes 9, 10 people. And now we average somewhere around like 18 to 20. So I don't think the scanners running really mattered too much. Plus, like I said, a lot of people watch. You'd be surprised how many people are watching on their phones. Like they'll just put it up on their phone and I guess like sit it down because a lot of people don't have an extra screen and all that good stuff to really, just sit it up on a different screen or like in the background and stuff like that. They'll just put it on their phone. So a lot of people can't even see the scanners anyway. I've had people tell me, thanks for just being a person to listen to in the background. And honestly, when I was trading and I didn't have, I wasn't doing this, I actually did that a lot. I would have a stream up in the background, no matter who it would be, just as something to listen to. And that was before me and Devin were talking pretty much every day. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Even on a regular computer screen, if you had my scanners up on my already condensed YouTube video, like you got to think about it. You got your full screen, and then within that screen is the YouTube screen, and then within that screen is just one little section that has the scanners. So a lot of people wouldn't even be able to read what's on the scanners anyway. And on top of that, there's like a 5-ish second delay. So it might not even be quick enough because some of the times you see me pull up charts and even I miss the move in real time. So no TM numbers. Oh, Trading Monkey numbers. Did you see he had that big loss yesterday? I had same loss yesterday as well, just not on the same ticker. We lost about the same amount, but he wins a lot less when he wins too. So, and we're about to get going. I actually went back. Let me tell you guys, I went back, and if I was using this system, I don't know. Let me see. If I was using this system for my entries, and what I'll tell you exactly what this means here in a second. But here, take one more look. So over here is the cents on the scale that you see on that side of the chart. So right here on this CLDX, it would be 25 cents, as you see right here. So it would be 60 shares as a starter. Now, how I came up with that number was kind of random, but I'll explain it real quick. Basically, I took what my max loss would be. Let's just pull out the calculator. It'll be a lot easier to show you. So I took what my max loss would be, which in this case, I wanted it to be $100 just as we started, which hence my max loss was hit yesterday. It was $100. I then divided it by the scale. So in this case, it would be 0.25. So 400 shares. Take that number and and how I did this is I went back to my VRML trade and I tried to figure out where I would need it to be to make it $100 max loss. So that's how I came up with this number. But then I multiply this by 60%, not 69. And now I have 240. Then I would split that into 2 and then a 2 again. So that's how I come up with 60. Because 60 is the 1, 1. And then the 120 would be the 2. And so far, pretty much every chart that I've looked at, it would have been, like if I would have scaled in the way that I think I would have, it would have been pretty much perfect for the $100 max loss. So what I did is I went back and I took all of my trades on my TraderSync and I used this. And if I was using that the whole time, I would have made, I think it was like 80 more dollars or something like that, which in return would have basically made up for the max loss. So I would have basically been, obviously I would have made more money, because if you guys remember when I first started 112 again, I started like really small, just to kind of get my groove back per se. And then we started scaling up almost immediately. And then we started trying to figure out a better entry system. And that's one thing I've always struggled with. I feel like the hardest part of trading, literally, I think the hardest part of trading is figuring out how to figure out the right share size for every entry. It's probably the thing that fluctuates the most. It's probably the thing that is the hardest to figure out. And it's probably, to me, right now, it's probably one of the hardest things to do. And I haven't found a consistent way, because if you guys remember, I was using a range-based method where, say I wanted to get in CLDX here, I would say, okay, where did the move start? It started right here at 8. And we were looking to get in at 950. So I had a sheet that would say, okay, it was a $1.50 move, and I made a bunch of hot buttons, if you remember. So I would hit the one that said $1.50. But the problem is, sometimes I could say the move started at 8, and then I could be like, well, maybe the move actually started here at 8:30. Or I could be like, okay, the resistance was sitting here at 850. I could use that. So it fluctuated too much. Then I said, hey, let's just use a monetary value divided by price. That way, no matter what, it'll always be the same amount. But the problem with that is you could have a $5 stock that moves a point. So if your monetary value, let's pull the calculator up again, just to give you a reference here. So say it was $1,000 is your amount, and then you divide that by 5, you would get 200 shares on a $5 stock. Say that moves 1 point, that's $200. Now let's take a $50 stock and divide that into 1,000. And you get 20 shares. If that moves a point, it's $20. That's 10 times the amount, but it's moving the same range. So to me, that just didn't make sense, right? It didn't make sense at all. The more and more we started trading it, as you guys saw, I went from 500 to 600 to this week I was at 700 until Wednesday. And then Thursday I said, okay, I finally was just like, it was like clicking that, okay, this isn't going to work. So then I was like, okay, well, how can we go back to the range method? Because that was much more consistent, but not the way that I was doing it, so that there's no guesswork. And I said, well, I started looking, like if I really scroll out on these charts, in most cases, when you're kind of intraday like this, it stays the same. As you can see on this one, it does go up to 50 cents from 25 because this thing really moved. But for the most part, if you're in a range like this, your chart will stay kind of near the same at all times. So basically now I just pull up a chart. I have my predetermined share size for whatever the scale is, and then boom, I hit it. It's that easy. It's quick. It's easy. It's the same every single time, and it should be fairly consistent. So we're going to give that a try. And I actually, just from, of course, literally the first trade I took doing it was SERV, and we took the max loss, where if I would have used the 700 divided by price like I was before, I wouldn't have lost that much. But who knows? But yeah, what about Tesla, $1,000 stock? Exactly. I would have been able to take one share. I mean, that thing does move points, but even so, if it moved a whole point, that's $1. So yeah, right now the daily max loss is $100, or not the daily max loss, per trade max loss. I have right now I'm using $300 as my max loss. So I would have to lose 3 max loss trades in a row without any winning trades. And I've actually been contemplating on just putting that on the account so that like it's there just to safeguard me. For some reason, I let my emotions get the best of me. That way it'll just automatically take me out of a trade if it hits it, but I haven't got to that point yet. I think I'm past the point of needing that. I don't think I would actually let it get to that point. As you could see on SERV, I was kind of at a weird place, but I still respected my max loss. And yeah, and I even have this button here, stop max. So I can always put that in worst case scenario when we're getting there. And like I said this in the stream earlier, you can break every rule that you have except for one, and that's your max loss. You have to have, to me, you have to have a max loss in place, whether it be per trade or per day. So if you are kind of lenient on like stops, like GDT, for instance, like if you let it kind of fluctuate a little bit higher than you want to because the opportunity is really good, to me, you should still have like some kind of like way up there. Like for me, if I'm only expecting to lose $100 in any given trade and it gets up to 3 times that at 300, we have a problem, right? We shouldn't probably be in that trade that big or whatever it is. So we need to respect that, because what's going to happen if that thing does continue to rip, right? We're going to be in trouble. We're putting our account at risk now instead of just living to trade another day, right? We don't want to let one trade completely wipe us out. So I always say you can break every rule in the book, but the one rule that you should not break is your max loss, because that is what allows you to trade tomorrow. It's that simple. Risk management. That's one of the 2 main things that I preach all the time: risk management and consistency. So if you can consistently not break your max loss, you'll live to trade another day. Max loss 80 divided by 15 cents equals 533 shares. What are we getting at, Jared? Okay. Oh, let me read up a little bit. TM is so annoying. He's about to pass me. Yeah, he is about to pass you. I just, he's a good guy. I tried to help him out. I still take credit for getting his stream up and running, because I literally got on a Discord call with him for 2 hours and set that stream up. So I will always take credit for that. I basically am Trading Monkey's channel, because without me, his stream would have never got up and running. I'm just kidding. But I did get it up and running for him. But neither here nor there. He is great entertainment. It comes down to that. He is a very interesting and entertaining guy. Just like right now, that squirrel trading guy, he's taken off. He's the same way. To me, he's kind of just like Trading Monkey. Apparently, it's something to do with animals in the name. Monkey, squirrel. The strategy that you will be talking about tomorrow, will that be long and short strategies or just short? Well, sure. First off, you're not signed up, right? I don't think so. That's going to be just for the high-level support guys, just so you know. It's not for everybody. But it will be, I'm going to be talking about not only my strategy, if people that are there want to talk about my strategy. If they're there to try to learn my strategy, then so be it. That's what we'll talk about. And I have no problem talking about the long side. I just am short biased. It doesn't mean that the long side doesn't work, because David, who I trade next to every single day, that's all. He's long biased. He doesn't take short trades, and he does very well. He trades a very similar, he uses the ISW scanners 100% for all his trades, but he has a different system. And I'd be more than happy to talk about that tomorrow night if somebody's actually interested in that. So yeah, it's going to be short, long. It's going to be whatever who's there wants to talk about. I'm not going to be the director per se. I'm just going to be the one to kind of navigate and really try to dive as deep as possible into each person's strategy. Like, I want someone to come in and say, this is my strategy. How can we work to optimize it? Like, if you feel like you're making money, but say your problem is you sell too early, well, that's what we can work on. If you are just introducing yourself to a strategy and you're trying to figure out how it would work best, how to optimize it that way, that's what we can work on, right? So it's going to be like a step-by-step kind of process. Each Saturday that we talk about, we're going to try to dive deep into each of these strategies, whether it's mine, whether it's yours, whether it's whoever's there. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing on the Saturday nights. So $100 per trade max loss. What is the daily max loss? Yeah, I said it's 100 per trade, and then 300 right now would be my max. But I don't think we'll ever hit that. And I'm pretty sure I'm strict enough to myself to where I would never let myself need like an account shutdown type thing where I send it in the broker saying, yo, $300 max loss. But it's never a bad thing to have in there just in case. Okay, so now we get the Jared. Max loss divided by risk equals share size. Wait, what? Oh, I see what you're saying. Max loss divided by the amount you want to risk. Well, when you're scaling into a trade like I do, you don't really ever have an actual risk. I tried that once too, where I tried to base all of my, that's what I said, and figuring out your share size and like based off of entries is probably one of the hardest things to do, because what I used to do is I would say, okay, CLDX is here. We're looking to enter near under 10. Looking at the daily, this thing could go like actually on the daily, this thing looks like it's at all-time highs, at least for the last couple years. So you wouldn't have anything to risk. You wouldn't have a set risk spot. You would have to just kind of guess. So it's like, what do you do? So in your case, max loss, let's say I want it to be 100. And I'm just guessing I'm going to risk off of 11. But in reality, I have no idea if the intense move is going to stop before 11. Is it going to go through 11? Like, I don't know that. So you would say, okay, I guess like $1.25. There you go. So you're right. 80 shares. That's what you would take, right? I get that. But when you're scaling in 112 like I do, you can't do that. It just wouldn't work. Press 1 for another Amazon code. My max loss went out the window on Wednesday on DPW. Ugh. Isn't that the one Ross made a ton of money on? Change your name, LOL? My name? What are you talking about? Are you talking to Vincenzo? I'm confused. Do you need a catchphrase? GDT refused my recommended catchphrase of simple as dimples. And then he points to his face. That would be another 10,000 subs right there. I used the catchphrase in one video very early on. Wanted to throw up. Yeah, GDT actually got on me very, very, very often about my blue chips thing. And that's not why I stopped saying it. I stopped saying it because I felt like it was getting a bit weird. Like I almost felt like I was forcing myself to say it instead of like when I was saying it all those times before, it was kind of coming out natural. But the more and more I kept saying it, the more and more I was just, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. So I just stopped. There's really no other reason than that. But GDT definitely, I think GDT actually made me keep using it longer than I probably would have just because of how much he hated it. Oh, to the animal name. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, watching Squirrel Trading, if you go back, I'm a little confused with his channel because he he was trading on TOS and he was doing really well apparently. And again, I just said this in the stream this morning too. Don't trust anybody. You don't know who's verified, who's not. You don't know, even people that are verified aren't probably actually verified. But anyway, neither here nor there. I'm not saying Squirrel's not legit. I'm just saying it was kind of weird. I always get weirded out by people who are trading big accounts. And on TDA, he was clearly not abiding by the PDT rule. So he supposedly had over $25,000 in his account. He was having like big $1,000 days. And then out of nowhere, he says he's changing brokers. And I was like, oh, cool. He can get away from TOS. They've been a piece of crap lately. And because I'm always looking for smaller channels to support, I actually liked like his emotions behind his trading and stuff like that. But then he throws $2,000 into a CMEG account and says he's doing a small account challenge to relate to his subscribers. And I'm just like, who, like, I don't know. I'm not saying he's not really, I mean, obviously he's really trading with the $2,000, but then it really makes me go back because now watching his trades now, his emotions are even higher than when he was trading a $25,000 account, making $1,000 sometimes in a day, with a $2,000 account, sometimes like with $50 to $100 swings. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. And I like the guy. His emotion is good. He's entertaining, just like Trading Monkey. But that's what I was getting at earlier is I feel like those two are kind of intertwined. Like their persona is what drives people. Like people love the drama. They love the entertainment. They love the excitement. And those two bring that. And I think that a lot of people love watching that stuff, where you have someone like me and GDT where we're just consistent. We're boring traders because that's all we do. We show up, we try to make money, we try to take our money from the market, and we move on. We try to be consistent. We try to do the same thing every single day. We're not here to trade low float penny stocks that could dump on us at any given moment because that's what drives the views up, right? We're not here to make $2,000 in a day just to lose $2,000 back the next day, just to create all this kind of drama. Like that's just not what we do. And I think that's why it's harder for us to build an audience, because people are more interested in drama, and me and GDT alike are not that much drama. Exactly. Trader before YouTuber. I didn't start this channel to make money off of YouTube. And I think some of the low float penny stock guys do that. I think some of them start their channels because they look at it as an extra source of income, which it can be. I'm not saying I don't mind the ad revenue that I get, which it's not that much. I mean, I've shown you guys plenty of times. I think over 30 days, I only get like, it's $100, which it's nothing to complain about. But at the same time, it's nothing like, I'm not going out of my way to try to, do anything crazy. I'm not trying to make a living off of YouTube. Right here, revenue, last 28 days, $103.47. Again, nothing to shake at, but I do all this for free, right? And so getting that little bit back is a way of, at least having some support for the channel. But again, it's not anything that you can live off of. And I give back probably more than I make on here, to be completely honest. If I keep doing these, if you guys start liking all these videos, I'll probably be losing money on the channel yet again. Like all those giveaways I did before I was even monetized, like that was all that stuff was out of pocket. So, I mean, all the stuff I do now is out of pocket too. So I just happen to be getting some back from the small ad revenue. But like GDT said, trader before YouTuber. I'm here to become a successful trader, not a successful YouTuber. I made my YouTube channel to try to be a channel that wasn't there when I first started trading. I want to try to get to people before they get to the gurus. I want to try to save people from, paying outrageous amounts just to be part of a turnover rate. And someone that's paying all this money for courses and stuff to where that's their main source of income. Their main source of income is courses, chat rooms. Trading is very secondary to those guys. I 100% promise you that. So that was part of why I started the channel, is to hopefully get to a big enough audience to where I can draw them in before, or just word of mouth, letting people know that when they come to my channel, it's truthful, it's transparent. I've shown you guys everything from literally day one, and I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing to hide. I tell you, it's been that way since day one. So I just want people to be able to come to a channel knowing that that's the case. Maybe I don't understand your strategy correctly. I always have a set point on the chart where I would stop out when my thesis is invalidated by price action. Yeah, Jared, when you're trading the way that we do, I don't trade options, no. Not yet anyway. Maybe I will in the future when I want to trade Tesla and stuff. But I definitely don't right now. I don't mind people that trade options. Like I see the value in it. Like if I want to trade Amazon or Tesla or something like that, like I obviously can't trade that with my account, but options allow you to. So I feel there's nothing wrong with trading options, but I've watched videos on people trading options, and the spreads on options are just insane. I mean, like they're like always a point plus. I'm just like, how do you guys trade? Like you are literally jumping in down a point on like every contract. It's like, okay, if that's what you want to do. One day I'll trade Tesla with you. Well, you've traded Tesla before, haven't you? They're coming back down into a range where I could probably trade them. But yeah, Jared, let me just pull up an example. It'd be a lot easier. So, I mean, even here on SERV, this was a max loss for us. But when we jumped into this, you can kind of see the move that we were looking at, even though I should have never been in this trade to begin with, and then I should have been cutting at this 35 break, but neither here nor there. When we got into this trade, we didn't have any overhead resistance that we were looking at specifically to cut, or actually we did I remember on the day or the hourly, I think it was, there was some good resistance right in this area. And that's why I added pretty heavily looking for that to hold. And once I realized it didn't, that's when we ended up cutting it. And it just happened to be right where our max loss was. So it kind of worked out, and we ended up being right for the most part. As you can see, it did continue. But here, okay, so that's a bad example. Let me give you a better example here. Dashboard. Like, let me just go to the big win on VRML. This will be a good example. So when I take this first trade here over 5, I don't know if this thing's going to keep moving straight to 550. I don't know if it's going to stop at 5. I can't. Most of my trades are single entry. So I'll get that first entry at 5 and this thing will roll over and I'll take my profits down in here. But if it wants to continue all the way up to 550, I have no problem scaling into this trade. But at no point in time am I saying, okay, if it hits 575, that's my max cutoff as it's going up. To me, that wouldn't make any sense. If this thing wants to keep going straight up, that's actually really good opportunity. But if we recognize that it's going straight up really fast, instead of adding close together, we would just try to space our ads out a little bit more to try to make a 112 work correctly. So if it was moving, like say we got in right over 5 and this thing shot right to 550, we would look to get our first ad at 550 instead of down here near 525. And then if it wants to continue, it could go up to 6, right? This only went to 550, but we don't know where this is going to go. That's kind of the whole point. We're just putting ourselves in a high probability situation, but I'm not getting into any of my trades saying, okay, I'm risking off a 6 and I'm only taking a single entry, because if I were to do that and say I wanted to take 100 shares, you know, obviously that would be $100 if it went from 5 to 6. But for me to make any kind of money, if you're even risking 1-to-1, now look how unrealistic that would be for you to get 1R on your trade all the way down here at 4. Like, to me, I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. So at any given time, because I tried that for a little while where I would try single entries looking for a set area to just jump out. If that was the case, like I always would put in a range order immediately for 1-to-1. And it didn't work out for me. Not playing the front side of a move anyway. You can limit buy the options at better prices. That's good to know. Dario, what's up, man? Brad, what's up, man? How you guys doing? I guess I didn't think about that, Doji. I guess that would make more sense. Doji. Is that you, Albert? Mr. Gravestone Doji. Ooh, yeah. All right. Let's get this back up. I like the conversation though. It's good. It's good. Keep it coming. I'm not going to be scaling up next week. I'm more so going to be looking to just be less scared. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the same risk. We're going to keep the same position size. And we're just going to look to no hesitation. There was a couple charts today I didn't like. Thankfully, most of the stocks, we finished up almost 1% on the SPY. So most stocks should come off SSR for Monday at the bell. So that's a good thing. That was kind of an issue today. There was a couple stocks. We actually tried to get in. What did we try to get into? Oh, RCL. But it was on SSR. On this move here, we put an order up here at 62.40. It was like 62.35, I think it was. And why is this not letting me click? Subscribe? Gold Star Trading. Welcome, man. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. It's not. Why is it not letting me click here? I hate when it does this. Give me 1 sec. Let me reopen. That was my private island that you guys saw back there, by the way. Just letting you know. Did you guys hear that story about Virgin Islands, or Virgin Records, I should say, and about buying the private island? He made an offer on a private island to try to impress his girlfriend at the time. Hold on 1 sec. I can't even think. Oh, RCL. That's what it is. Royal Caribbean. Okay. So on this move at the open, it got to 62.10. We had to order at 62.35. I think we moved it up to like 62.85 or something because of this little bit of a pullback here. So we were looking for it to go a little bit higher. But we didn't quite get that break until over here, which it never even got there. It only got to 62.70. But it would have been nice if we jumped in here. And like I was saying, this is exactly what we look for. We got this previous resistance. You can see it. It hit it here 3, 4, 5, almost 5 times. And then we finally broke through here at the open. It did come back down and use it as support real quick before going higher. But it make that poke through 62. This is something that we probably would have jumped into, right? It was $1, so we would have been 15 shares. Probably south of 62. I don't think we would have gotten over 62. Probably would have realized it was failing and tried to jump in. I'd have to go watch the tape to see what the spread was. That could have kept us out of it too. Don't know. But would have been looking for it to come back down here, which was, what was that area? Right at almost a 61. So almost a full point. So it would have been a pretty solid trade. Our average trade, and that's what I meant to tell you guys. When I went back, our average winner on a single entry trade was about $15 to $20, risking $100 on a single entry trade. So basically, I think like 80% of our trades are single entry, and I think we're 100%. Let me check that. I don't want to be called a liar here. But if we take all of our single entry trades, I'm pretty sure we're sitting at, I guess I don't really need to make it bigger. Set up one entry. Yeah, so look at that. The bulk of our returns are from that. Yeah, we're 100%. So 24 out of 33 trades. So that's basically what, like that's almost 70%, 66% have been single entry. So if we're averaging about $20 per single entry trade and our max loss is 100 and our win rate is 100%, but say normally it's 90%, that would mean that we're basically $40 in the green every 10 trades, right? So that's, or wait, no, it would be $80 in the green, right? 20. Yeah. So it would take 5 trades. Then we lose the one if we're at 90%. So that break us even. Then we have 4 more trades with $20 average. So yeah, we'll put us at $80. And that's where we're at. So if we could do that over and over again, right? You're just going to grind your way up. But obviously that's only with single entries. If you are also, sorry, I'm trying to get this on my screen. If you're also getting the double entry and the triple entry, something like that VRML trade we had, and you're making max money on it, where instead of making 20, you're now making 40, 50 or 70, 80, 100. Those are the trades that really set the strategy apart. But if you can survive just on the single entries where you're winning all the time, you're going to do pretty well. And that's kind of what we're getting at. So we're trying to figure out how to perfect that, and then we're going to look to scale it up. That's it. That's all we're doing. But like I said, playing with scared money is never a good thing. And I feel like I still have that in the back of my head at times. And I think that keeps me out of trades, and we need to get past that. That's our number one goal, and our number one thing that we realize that we suck at. Add a 0. Yep, exactly. Yeah, add a 0. That's now 200 instead of 20. Exactly. I agree. What if you use that first candle to base your max risk on? What first candle? I'm confused. Are you talking about... we're definitely talking about different strategies. You're talking about just jumping in and having a set risk, where when you're playing the front side of a move, you just can't do that. It's just not possible. Is that the one from earlier? There's Coco with her one. And Justin's dimple. Here he goes. When you do scale up, is it the same amount of shares, or is it like 100, then you add another 100, then 200? No, what I'm doing, especially since I'm using this, which I showed you guys the calculation earlier, which I can show you it again. But basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my max loss and I'm dividing it by the scale size. So like, I'll just give you a good example. So if we were taking the $1 here, so 100 divided by 1 is obviously 100. Oops, I did 0.1. 100 divided by 1 is 100. Times that by 0.6, that's 60 shares divided by 2 divided by 2. So our starting share size would be 15. Our total share size would be 60. 15, 15, 30, right? So 15, 15, 30, 1, 1, 2. You would end up with 60 shares. So to scale up, say we want to just increase to, you can do it by $25. So you could go max loss to 125, or you could do 150. But let's just say we want to double it, just for, say we're ready to go. You would do the same thing. Divide it by 1 is 200 times 0.6. Divide by 2, divide by 2. There you go. So now instead of, obviously we could have done in our head, double 15, make it 30. But that's what you would do. But say you wanted to do 150 instead of 200, just to make the number not as easy. Divide that by 1, it's 150 times 0.6, divide by 2, divide by 2. So you'd start off with 22 or 23 shares, depending on which way you went around it. And that's how I would scale up. And I would do that for each range. So I have 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 1, 2, and 5 as far like 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, and $5 for the scales over here. I have seen, I don't see 15 cents at all. They actually use 13 cents on DOS. So when I see the 13 cent one, I just use 15 cents. It's just easier. Tim, if average profit is $20, accounting for fees and locate fees, then profit is even lesser. Well, see, this is the argument that I get into with some people is, yeah, you're not wrong, but I'm also dealing with, this is why trading with a small account is hard, but I'm looking end game. I'm looking to basically break even now. I'm looking to perfect what I'm doing so that when I do start scaling up, I know that it works. I'm not just jumping in blind. I know that what I have is a proven system. I've proven that it can make money consistently, and I've proven that I can hold risk management in place. So when I start to scale up, I know that that won't be an issue as I scale up. So now if you take that $20 and, like GDT said, add a zero, which you're never just going to add a zero. You're going to kind of work your way up there. Like when GDT scaled up, he went from his starter size on most shares being 300 or most stocks being 300 shares to 400 shares, right? So he scaled up 33%. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just doing it in a different way. So, but now say, Tim, if average profit is $200, accounting for fees and locate fees, well, guess what? Now it's locate fees. First off, I don't ever locate stocks, so I don't have to worry about that. But as far as commissions and stuff like that go, when you're now making more money, those become pretty minute. But yes, when you're using a small account, that's why I always say you can't start a small account with $500. You can't start a small account with $1,000. I would say it's almost impossible to start a small account with anything less than $2,000. That's why when people ask me how much you recommend, I say no less than $2,500, but I recommend at least $3,000. Because you have to deal with platform fees. You have to deal with commissions. You have to, if you want to locate shares, you have to deal with those fees. So that's why it's so difficult. But I know at the end of this, when I'm being very consistently profitable and I have my risk management in place and I finally start to scale this thing up, those fees and stuff like that, they're going to become completely secondary. You can't be worried about those things. You should be more worried about the long term and how, if you're that worried about those things, get a part-time job to pay just for your commissions, your platform fees, your short locates, so that you don't ever have to worry about those things eating into your overall equity. Make your trading. And then if you have to work a part-time job to pay for those fees, then so be it. If that's what it takes and you really want this to work, do it, right? I have the luxury of not having to do that because I was staying home with the kids and my wife can support both of us with her salary, right? I had that privilege. It's something that worked out for me. I still umpire. I still work other things. I'm now working a lot, on the YouTube, not on the YouTube channel in particular, but like I have some affiliations that bring in just a little bit of money here and there. Like I found a way to find sources of income to pay for, say, fees and stuff like that so that I don't have to worry about those with a small account, right? So find a way. You want to make it work, you make it work. I don't really know any other way to say that. If you want this to work, you will make it work, or at least you'll find a way to try to make it work. Trading is not for everybody. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everyone can do it. I was wondering what that was. Some kind of like oozy bug. It was like crawling on me. For a second there, I thought it was going to be a tick, but I spray for ticks, so I would have been a little confused. Man, it was like some kind of weird oozy bug. Give me a sec. Let me wipe it off. But yeah, real quick, just back to what I was saying. I mean, small accounts are no joke. They suck. I'll be the first to tell you. When I first started, I started with $5,000 and I was trading on SureTrader. I was paying $5 a trade, a ticket, not a trade, a ticket. And that's tough. So and that was part of the reason I didn't have someone out there with affiliation codes to get me $1 off trades and stuff like that. And that was really what got me into making the channel in the first place, was to help. I really wanted to, 70% of the I always say this, 70% of the reason I made this channel was to document my journey so that I could watch back myself and learn from myself, like kind of like a video journal. And then people started watching. I wasn't expecting anybody to start watching my channel, but then I started realizing, hey, I think I'm helping some people, not make the same mistakes that I did. And then I started thinking, as I kept going, well, what would I have liked for a YouTube channel to do that I couldn't find when I first started? So I started doing those things, and that's where we are now. Offer things like the tools, intensity stock watch scanners. I freaking love those things. I've literally taken all of my trades right off the scanners since February 8th of 2019. Not one single trade that I've taken has not come from those scanners. So I talk so deeply and passionately about them because they work, right? They work. I'm passionate about them, and I became an affiliate with them because I know that not only do they work, but I also know that if it's a tool you're going to use anyway, why not get it at a discount, right? Same with CMEG. If you are going to go offshore and you want to not abide by the PDT rule using a US account with less than $25,000, why pay the standard $395 trades when I can get you an affiliation code and you can pay $295 a trade? I help you, and in return, I get a little kickback from you signing up. It's a win-win. It's always, I'm not out here pushing these things. You don't ever see me push these things in my videos because I'm not here to sell you things. They're there because they're tools that you're going to be using anyway. So why not pay less? Because that's what I wish somebody was doing for me when I first started, right? I wish that I could have been paying $3 a trade instead of $5 a trade. That's $2. Every time I hit that button, I could have been saving. But it wasn't there for me when I first started, right? So that's like one of the main purposes of the other 30% of my channel started to turn into, hey, let me try to help. Same thing with TraderSync. A journal. You should have a journal. It doesn't have to be TraderSync. You can go use a free one at stocktrader.net. You can use Edgewonk like GDT has. It's a one-time fee. You can use TraderView. You can use whatever you want. But I like TraderSync. It does what I needed to do. It's fairly new. And I got an affiliation with them. So why wouldn't I try to help myself out with that as well as try to help you guys out by getting a discount? Again, win-win, right? So that's all this is. Again, me trying to take my knowledge, try to help new people out, saying, hey, you want to really dive deep into your strategy? Well, I do have family and stuff like that. I do this for free already. Support the channel a little bit. Hit the join button. $10 a month. That's really not that much, right? In the grand scheme of things, especially when I was paying that in one trade, on SureTrader, right? Think of it that way. You're paying that in 2 trades on CMEG or whatever. And 2 Saturdays a month now, we'll dive deep into your strategy. We'll make it better, right? Or at least try to. That's the whole point. Again, a win-win. We try to help each other out. You support the channel. It's like kickback territory when it comes to the stock market, but you got to find someone who has the right intentions, right? You got to find that person that you trust, because that person should be trustworthy. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole at all. But yeah, I am not bilingual. So sorry. I can count to 10 in Korean. I can count to 10 in English, French, and Spanish. That's it. Nothing else. And yeah, like Thomas said, fees are the cost of doing business. That's very true. So what are you, a white belt in GDTs like a brown belt? I actually did have a white belt when I trained for a year, and I never got past a white belt. I was more into boxing than actually I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I never really liked it. Fun fact, I got a black belt in Hapkido. Never heard of it. I'm assuming that's some kind of a Korean martial art, since you can count to 10 in Korean. When shorting with CMEG, don't we need to locate? No. See right here on RCL, see the S? The S is for shortable. And usually when something on CMEG is shortable, it's an infinite amount of shares. So as long as you see that S, you're good to go. If it doesn't have an S, you can try to come over to trade, short locate, and then you can put the symbol in, how many shares you want, and then you can inquire. It doesn't cost anything to just put a query in to see if they have shares. It'll tell you the price as well. But if you want to locate the order, you would come down here, you'd put it in, how many shares you want, and then once you hit locate order, it's going to, I think it pops up another menu saying, are you sure? And then you would hit yes. And then when it finds the shares, it'll charge you for the shares and as well as $25. So there was a girl in class with the best high kicks. It was a beautiful sight. You've used my CMEG coupon code. Good. And if you haven't used the CMEG coupon code and you're paying $3.95 a trade, you can still send in the code and they'll still give it to you. Just FYI. Don't feel like you had to do it when you signed up. That's like the Webull thing. I don't promote Webull at all. But if you use the link down below, they literally give you 2 free stocks. I always tell everyone, just make an account, you get 1 free stock. You throw $100 in there, you get 2 free stocks. You can take the $100 out right away. And then you have to leave the 2 free stocks that you get in there for 30 days. That's it. You can put the $100 in, take the $100 right back out. Doesn't cost, there's no fees in between there. So literally just for making an account and putting $100 in and taking it right back out, you get 2 free stocks. I always tell everyone, just do it, because I also get 1 free stock, I think, out of it. So again, a win-win, but it's free. Like I don't understand why they even do that. I guess they assume that once you put the $100 in there, you're probably going to try to use it, and then they get their fees through the trades and whatever. But yeah, it just makes no sense to me why people wouldn't take advantage of that. You literally get 2 free stocks. I've done it myself. So, and I've had family members do it too. So I know it's true. Hap Kiddo. It's remarkable what GDT's doing while still working full time. I think he's doing at least 40 hours a week. What's a 40-hour week? Hey, believe it or not, I think I work more than 40 hours. My work might not be considered like work, I guess, to most. Like I don't go to a job and actually work for a certain amount of hours for money. But staying home and raising kids and all that, it is no joke. I have done more work raising these 2 kids the last 3 years than I ever did at my old job, my old government job. I mean, I guess saying the word government kind of gives away why I didn't really do that much work, but yeah, Thomas, I actually commented on one of his videos and he responded saying like, thank you or whatever, like he was going to use it. So I don't know if he put my code in or not, but I even saw that because he was complaining so much about the commissions. And that was the other thing I just didn't understand. He says he's been trading for 5 years or whatever, but he makes it seem, I don't know. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Again, good guy, seems to be a good guy, very emotional, very entertaining, and that's probably why I watch him. I do hate when GDT takes days off. I always miss his videos. He gets like weird creeped out private messages from me on Twitter. I'm like, yo man, I need you to come back so you can trade and make some money. Where is this code asking from Twitch? Sorry, Bridger. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have it over there on Twitch. It's in, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can, here, I'll just see, I'm pretty sure it's that. If you go to the description in my YouTube channel on any of my videos, it's like one of the top things in the description. He deleted your comment? What was your comment? Yeah, Bridger, over there on Twitch, I don't think they left me a spot to put it down there. I thought I did, though. Now that I'm thinking about it. Now I'm going to check, just because I'm curious. Oh, I hope they're not live. I didn't mean to hit that. Okay, good. Oh, I didn't change my icon over here. Channel. Sounds off. Good. About me, specs. Yeah, I don't have it over here. I only got the Webull one because you can actually click on it. Channel. Dun, dun, dun. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, so you send it, I'm pretty sure you can send it to their client services as well. But I know for a fact that you can send it to the new accounts. But yeah, if you just send the code to their account, like if you already have an account, just send the code to that one and say you saw it on YouTube, and they'll hook you up. But if you don't have an account too, you just let them know that you have the code when you're signing up, and you should be good to go. Oh, you gave him my code and he deleted it? Huh. I wonder if he deleted my comment when I had said that to him. Now I'm curious. I don't even remember what video it was on. Let's see if I can scroll down that far in my notifications here. Oh, yep, here it is. Let's see. It appears to still be there. Let's scroll down. Yeah, I had told him, I was like, just FYI, I'm not trying to directly promote on your channel, but I do have an affiliate code with CMEG that you can send in via email, and you will get your tickets at $2.95 instead of standard $3.95. It will save you $1 a ticket, adds up. You can find the code in any video description of mine. If you want me to delete this, let me know. Like I said, I'm not trying to promo on your channel, just trying to help you grind that small account. And he said, that's dope. I need that hookup. And so I replied saying, just email their client services with CMEG Tim V, and they will take care of you. And that's there. Let me switch to the bot account. I wonder, I can see if it's actually still there or not, because I guess he could have muted me instead of actually like deleting it. No, it's still there. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why he would delete your comment. Doesn't really make sense. Interesting. He definitely took off though. I remember I started watching him when he was at like a little over 1,000 subscribers, and now he's already at 4,000. Jeez. Jealous. Like I said though, I'm not really trying to figure out how to beat the YouTube algorithm or anything like that. So, it is what it is. Make a goal of getting to US full PDT account. Life will be so much better. I totally agree with you. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm trying. I transferred from profits that I've made, as well as just money that I've saved up on the side, as well as any affiliation money that I have had. Like I said, guys, anything that I get from the channel goes back into the channel. And some of that includes, like, if I'm trying to build the account. So the $4,000 was mainly money that I had saved up, but that was the account that I opened up with Interactive Brokers. That's what that was. It was, I would say about like 32, I think it was like 3250 was my money. And then like the rest of it was from just saving months and months and months and months. I would say about a year's worth of affiliation type stuff from CMEG, ISW, TraderSync. Actually, TraderSync, I think I've had 2 people sign up through TraderSync. And I need to talk to him because he actually hasn't paid me for that yet. He messaged me saying that I had 2 people sign up, and then he never actually sent it to me. So I have to actually get to him. He's a good guy though. I know he's not going to stiff me or anything like that. I think he's very busy. It's like TraderSync is still very new, and that dude is relentless. He's working on that thing day in and day out. It's pretty crazy. I feel, and I think Webull is really the only other affiliation that I have. Well, and now I guess I have the YouTube thing. If you guys want to sign up and sponsor the channel by hitting the little join button down there, there is like I have 3 different levels. There's $2 where you just basically, that's a way of saying you're awesome, and you get a little badge next to your name. For $5, basically a bigger way of saying thank you. And then you get to be a mod of the channel, which is pretty cool. You get to do, I guess, I don't really know what you get to do as a mod. Just be nice. And then if you pay the $10, that's when you get all of that, as well as the 2 Saturdays a month, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited for those. I love the market. I love talking about it. I love talking about strategy. I love doing all that stuff. So to be able to jump in and do that 2 more times a month, I'm pretty stoked about it. And I'm stoked to try to help other people out as much as possible as well. Even though I'm not a professional trader, but I do like to think that in just the 2 years that I've been trading, I've learned quite a bit. I've learned what not to do a lot of the times, right? I might not be making $1,000 a day. I like to think eventually I will be, but it doesn't mean I don't know anything. I like to think that I know quite a bit. Like I said, I'm more stuck in a state where I know that I can't lose all my money in one shot. And so it's kind of a scared money thing where I know that if I lose this money, it would take me a long time not having a full-time job to save more money up to give it another shot. So I think part of that kind of holds me back sometimes. And I think that's what that's like our next step, is trying to get past that emotional barrier that we've kind of set ourselves in there. It's definitely one thing that we're going to try to work towards starting next week. And I really do, honestly, 100% believe a lot of it has to do with knowing that every day I woke up and traded, I still had a kid to worry about. If you guys notice in pretty much all of my videos on my live stream, I'm like this, because I would say like 50% of my focus is here and the other 50% is listening or watching. Like you guys can probably go look at all of my live streams and you'll see me like looking for the kids, like where they're at, what they're doing. It's just the dad in me. And like, that's my primary job, right? My primary job really while they're home is them. It's not trading. So that always was holding me back as well. So now knowing that I'm going to be able to 100% focus, I'm going to take them to school, come home, sit down and start to laser focus right here on my screen and actually try to figure this thing out. So I really do think that was kind of part of what was holding me back as well. So it'll be interesting to see if things do start changing as they go to school. It'll be pretty interesting. That's why I built an office in the garage. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know if your older one is like this. He might have already been old enough to kind of be doing his own thing. But when they're 2 and 4, it doesn't matter where you go. They will find you. Earlier today, this is no lie, I was just fed up. I needed a break. My oldest was just on me all day. You guys saw it. Even when he came back from that walk at like 9:50, he was next to me. He wanted daddy hugs. He just wanted me today. It was just me, daddy. That's all he wanted. Literally from the time I stopped, he basically sat in my lap the whole time I made my video today. Just everything. He was actually in the original edit of my video, and then he finally got down and went to eat lunch, and I re-recorded the video because it was just too much work to try to. It just didn't sound right because I was like leaning back here because he was sitting in front of me. It was just bad, so I re-recorded it. But it was just one of those days, and I got to the point. It was around like 4:30. We were about to go get the pizza for Pizza Fridays, and he just came up, and I was like, "Braden, can I just have 2 minutes, please?" And like the ibuprofen was wearing off. I started feeling it. I was just like, can I just have 2 minutes? I just want to kind of sit here, collect myself. I turned to my screen to make it look like I was getting on the computer. Cause when I'm done work, I don't really get back on my computer too much. So I sat down acting like I was going to do something. So maybe he would kind of walk away, and it just 30 seconds later, Daddy, can you play with me? And I'm like, Braden, I'm just asking for 2 minutes, bud. I just need 2 minutes of just silence. And I put my headphones on because these noise canceling things are amazing. But when he's tugging on me, obviously I know he's there. 30 seconds. I mean, Amanda, sitting on the couch playing on her phone, kind of messing with Camden, the younger one. And he walks away, goes to get a toy or something. I don't even remember what he did 30 seconds later. It was like every 30 seconds. Daddy, are you done yet? Can you play with me? And I'm like, Braden, please. Can I have to, like, I'm trying to not get to that point where I just want to, like, I'm boiling and I don't want to blow my whistle. And Amanda calls him away this time. He's like, give Daddy a couple minutes, bud. And I'm just like, okay, finally. She realizes what's happening here. Like, just give me 2 minutes. 30 seconds goes by, comes over. How many more minutes? I literally took my headphones off, put them down on the desk, walked out back, went next to the shed over there on the side so that he couldn't see me, even if he did walk out there. And I opened the shed door to make it look like maybe I walked through to go out front. I did everything just to be left alone for 2 minutes. I swear, not even 30 seconds later, my little one comes running around the corner of the shed and goes, boo! I couldn't help but laugh, but at the same time, I was just so irritated that I literally walked back inside. I told Amanda, I was like, Amanda, I'm going upstairs. I'm locking myself in the bedroom. Please just give me 5 minutes. And she was like, just go. And she was laughing. And it was just one of those days. But anyways, the whole point of that was that you build a garage. I hope you have a lock on the door. That's all I could say. Because both of my kids now know how to open doors. And it's a lot. I was telling Amanda today, it's very bittersweet that they'll be going back to school. We've basically been 24/7 with these two kids we're going into month number 4, right? Since this all started. It started like early March, like second or third week of March. So it's been very tough. She works from home. She's working literally right behind me on our dining room table. She has the 3 monitor set up. She works 8 to 10 hours a day. So who's taking care of the kids, while that's happening? Obviously I am. And on top of that, I'm trying to do the stream in the morning. I'm trying to trade, whether it's for that first hour. She tries to take a break and take them for a walk when the bell rings, 9:20, 9:25. Usually it's like as I'm going live, you guys usually hear them leaving in the background. And then usually she'll be back at 9:50. And so I basically, from the time they get back at 9:50, I'm pretty much dealing with them again because she jumps right back on her computer to work. So really I get like that first 20 minutes of the market open, and then I'm basically flip-flopping back and forth between them and trading and trying to make the video, and it's a lot. So it's very bittersweet because I miss being able to just play with them all day, get up, give them hugs, kisses, whatever it is during the day. That's obviously not going to be able to happen while they're in school. But at the same time, I know that I can now actually focus on trying to make this what I want it to be, right? I can actually sit down for the first time. Monday will be the first time I've ever traded knowing that I don't have to worry. I mean, obviously I'm still worried. I can always get a call from the school and something happened or whatever, but I can actually sit down and actually focus knowing that they're being taken care of by professionals and we can sit here and focus. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited just to know that it's happening, right? Again, very bittersweet because I was like, I knew there was something else I was thinking. I couldn't think of what it was. I just remembered it. But when you're home with a 2 and 4-year-old for basically 3 months in a row, going on 4, you tend to start figuring out that you should always want to be around your kids. But like I just explained in that other situation, they get you to the point where you're just like, come on, man, give me a break. Give me a break. Like, I just need you to go over to the other side of the house for a little bit. Just give me a break. But when they're back in school, you haven't seen them all day. When they come home, that's never the case. You want to be around them. How was your day at school? You want to play? You want to do something? Like, you want to be around them. You want to be with them until it's time to go to bed. And then on the weekends, you get all day with them. Like, you actually enjoy the weekends because you get to spend all day with them for 2 days. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like, getting back into some sort of a routine, just knowing that I feel like it'll be better overall for everybody. So yes, it was nice to have 3 months of quality time with the kids. even with the wife, like she's actually going to be working home until the end of the month. So she's actually going to get some more like focus on just work and hopefully get caught up and not having to worry about like the office atmosphere and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been interesting to say the least. Whoop whoop, party time. Yeah, we'll be instead of drinking Coke Zeros, we'll be drinking some beers or something now on stream. But yeah, so that's kind of my update. That was my week. That was my update. That's what we're looking to do next week. Do we have any questions? Had some good questions in here today. I liked it. Got any more? Keep it going. Oh, damn. Yeah, we do. We got the ISW crew up in here. Just need Brian to chime in. Let me tweet his ass real quick. Oops. Discard. Need you in the live stream. Pronto. See if he comes. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to go grab some ibuprofen. GDT is an overachiever. Yeah. That dude. I don't know. I'm not by any means saying GDT's not an overachiever. That's not what I meant by that. I don't know. But I personally think it'd be easier for me to do this with a full-time job versus my full-time job being the kids and the house and cooking and all that other stuff. I personally think that. Now, granted, I don't know. GDT probably does some of that stuff on top of his full-time job and trading and stuff as well. I don't know his personal life, but I just know that it's really effing hard to do what I do. Can we kick Kev off the team? Kev, he's I think he's a little busy right now. He's been like disappearing. He does them like morning pre-market live streams and then just disappears for the day. Yeah, trading with zero sleep is really hard. Just having zero sleep in general is pretty hard. I'm gonna go grab those ibuprofen. Be right back. You know, I wouldn't do that. I have something attached to the bottom of my desk. Yeah, well, Constantine, you also work. Your hours are like perfect. You wake up in the morning, you go to work, and then you trade before bed. I feel like I would much rather do that because I'm a night owl. Like I like staying up at night. I feel like I would do so much better trading at night. Yeah, GDT, what did you buy with that Amazon $10 gift card? Yeah, Thomas actually trades while he's at work. Tom, another Tom that's in our Discord, he does the same thing. Gee, I practice pretty often. We should go to the range together. I only have a 9mm though. That's the only gun I have. And now it's not actually under my desk right now, but I have kept it there. I have a holster attached to the bottom of my desk because I do keep it there sometimes. For no reason, honestly. We're in a really safe area. I've just always been, ever since we had our first kid, I don't know, just that paranoia kind of kicks in a little bit, I guess. I don't want someone to like come in the front door because I don't even pull my OBS up here. my front door, like the window's right there, but my front door's right there. And I usually keep it open for the most part. And I always just have that weird feeling that if somebody, I lock it, but I have a slingshot. If someone just pulls that door open, my only defense really is to just get up, yell as loud as I can to the wife. I don't know if any of you are like this, but I literally play out scenarios in my head for everything. I've seen so many videos online, like back when like gore type videos were a thing, and just like whatever, those types of videos. So I know what's possible out there. I've seen it happen. And I start thinking of how those things could happen in my life. I'm not like over worrisome. I just know that like prevention is key kind of thing. Like most accidents are preventable. Like people getting hit by cars, like people running into other cars, and like a lot of that stuff is preventable if like somebody's paying attention, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at with this. But if somebody were to break into my house, like I always think, well, I'm sitting here. I'm pretty, like if they have a weapon, I don't have anything around me. I got a pen. I could James Bond that shit or whatever, John Wick it and throw that shit at them. But my first instinct would probably be to just yell gun to Amanda, basically telling her to get the gun out of the safe. And she actually can't cock the gun. So I leave it loaded in the safe. It's high where the kids can't get it, and it has a code on it that you have to, it's a 6-digit code. So yes, we're good there. I take those safety precautions very seriously with the kids. It's not like under the bed or something. My 1911 is to the right of my mouse. I want a 1911. And to be completely honest, the reason I didn't buy one was because when I was buying that gun, they were just too expensive. 1911s are expensive. Yeah, there's no such thing as too many guns. I don't have the money, to be completely honest. Maybe one day my gun collection will get big. I bought, like I said, we had our first kid, and it was just kind of an instinct. I ended up going through the handgun course and everything, just so that I could make sure I had at least one. That motion was a rack, not a cock. What? What are you talking about? I didn't even do anything. I just lifted my hand. I didn't actually move my hand, did I? If I did, it was by accident. I was just... But did I say it? Yeah, I did say she can't cock the gun, didn't I? Okay, you're right. It did slip. Now that I'm thinking back. Yeah, I got you. You're right. No, you're wrong, Bob. Price is wrong, Bobby. Oh, I really want the ibuprofen to kick in. It's the same time of night. It comes and gets me. I do love my gun. It's a nicey. I'll just show you guys. No. There we go. Oh, it's not a mod 2 though. I know it's it's the XD, but I thought it. Okay. Oh, it's all the. Okay, here we go. It's not the mod 2. It's the regular XDS. But I mean, I'm assuming it's about the same. Yep, that's exactly what it looks like. It's just the grip's different though. The gun looks exactly the same though. Down here, the grips on the magazine's a little bit different as well. I have the 3.3. So yeah, it looks like they updated. Well, I guess that's a different kind of magazine you can get for the extra grip. On mine, it's a little different. I like that look of the grip though. Yeah, so I have two magazines. One is this one that sits flush, and then it's this one that basically extends it, because a 3.3 is a pretty small gun. So this actually gives you more grip, but mine doesn't have these little grips on it. It's pretty cool how they, hence it's the mod too and not just the regular. I wish they still showed you the old ones though. Let's see. Oh, well, here it is. It's just the XD. I thought it was the XDS though. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure I have an XDS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I'd have to go look. I'm not going to go in there and get it now. Hey, I do get mixed up with the hammer and cock sometimes. I can't hit anything with a 45. I'm good with a 9. Yeah. I mean, I would say anything within like 20 feet, I'm pretty good. With a 45, it is a lot of power. It is. I've never shot a 50. I've always wanted to. There's been people in the range when I've been shooting my gun, shooting a 50. I mean, I think it's like $1 a bullet. Those things are nuts. Ooh. Thomas is getting me excited. Let's check it out. All right, let's just copy paste it. STI International. Let's go. I don't think that was the one he's talking about. Is this it? Combat Master John Wick. Whoosh. Look at that thing. Doesn't make the picture bigger. It kind of sucks. That is a beauty. Look at that thing. I love the colors on it. I mean, you're getting me excited. I want that James Bond Waller PPK. More whiskey? Oh yeah, speaking of which, GDT, tell me if this is the same whiskey you have. I'm pretty sure Screwball, the peanut butter whiskey. I remember when you were getting drunk on your stream at one point, you said you had a peanut butter whiskey. I don't know if that was the one or not, but I opened that up and that shit tastes like peanut butter. I will still say I remembered why I had that. I don't know. I used to drink whiskey. It was like the only thing I drank for probably 3 or 4 years. And I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like whiskey anymore. It's just my alcohol palate has changed. I don't know. I've been drinking rum for the last, let's say it started probably like 2 years after I met Amanda. So coming up on 8 years. I don't know, just rum. I just love rum. It's my favorite thing now. Those little blue tropical drinks that I make, drink those all day. Kind of, if I knew I was gonna be here for another hour, I'd probably go make one. Especially to help with this freaking Nerve. You know, I was reading up more on that crap, and they say that stuff could last. Like, it just doesn't go away. Like, the nerve damage from when you get the shingles, it just, like, it can, like, permanently do whatever it does. I really hope that's not the case. Hey, Tom. Speaking of, there's so many Toms. How you doing, Tom? I haven't seen you post on Twitter lately. Not since the last time. How you doing, man? You still climbing? You making that climb? I can't drink Jaeger. Even the smell now makes me want to throw up. Yeah, the good old Jaeger bombs. I haven't drinking Jaeger since before I met my wife. I went on a 6-month binge after I broke up with my ex, and there was a lot of Jaeger bombs in there. We used to go out literally every weekend, twice a weekend, Friday night, Saturday night. There's just so much money being spent on alcohol, so many Jaeger bombs. Goldschlager, oh my, so much Goldschlager. That was all my dad drank growing up. Deleted most of my social media today, and yesterday was nuts. Hopefully in a good way. Yesterday was a max loss day for me. I needed you to be here to donate to the channel, my max loss, so that I almost hurt myself yesterday, Tom, because of that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It was a max loss day, but it would never. If a max loss day is affecting you to that point, then we got something else wrong. I will tell you another alcohol that I will never drink again, and the story behind it is grain alcohol. It was Halloween, my senior year of high school. My parents went away on a trip, so I thought it'd be cool to throw a Halloween party at my dad's house. So I did. It was awesome. But we were playing beer pong. I had one of those last week. It happens anyways. Just checking in on my baby boy. Have a good one. You too, man. Again, we'll have to catch up sometime. Hit me up when it's not so late. We were playing beer pong, but we had in the middle, if you hit the middle cup, instead of the beer that was in the cup, there was a shot of grain. And we were playing partners. So if it was your guy, you obviously had the drink. So everyone's always aiming for the middle cup. And needless to say, the guy that I was playing against for most of the night would always hit that damn fucking middle cup. And I was just so wasted, mainly on grain alcohol, that I want to say it was like the last 2 hours, people were trying to explain it to me the next day. I don't remember any of it. And when I woke up the next morning, I was outside, out front, and there were so many people there, they were parking on the grass. I was in between two cars, just laying on the grass. I don't remember how I got there. Don't remember what went on before that to get there. Don't understand why my friends let me fall asleep out there. It was an interesting night. But that was the last time I ever drank grain alcohol. Yeah, F you, serve. Fucker. Got a couple of us. You know, it was on the scanners, but then Brian is actually the one that alerted it more so. Like, he said that he was in serve, and I remember looking at it and I was like, this isn't me. And then I was like, okay, I can see it. Like, if Brian sees something in this, he was in down here, like on this candle, like near 34. And I was telling myself, well, if this thing can get up through that previous resistance, that's normally what we look for. I'd be interested. So I needed to see it through 34.50. And sure enough, it finally shot up there. And I was like, okay, well, if Brian's in down here, I'm feeling pretty good about being in up here, because Brian usually is pretty good at these things. And obviously you should never have that mentality, but that did factor into me pulling this up and thinking about trading it, and I did. Now, granted, Brian didn't make me hold this stock. He didn't make me break my rules to enter the stock. He didn't make me break my rules not exiting the stock here when it broke 35. He didn't make me hold and hit my max loss. Those were all my decisions. But yeah, just by him saying it was B. But you asked, so yeah, that was the main reason I even pulled this thing up. Because I remember seeing it on the scanner. I didn't pull it up because I don't think it actually was alerted, like 20 plus. But B had said he was in, and I was like, this isn't. I was like, double top, definitely not playing it. I want to see the quick move through. And then it made kind of a quick move, but I always tell everybody, I always look for a candle bigger than previous candles. And obviously we didn't get that, but yet I still made the dummy mistake of playing it. I FOMO'd this trade 100% because I wanted the trade. I had my new system set up. I was ready to use it, and I just wanted to trade something. So I did, and yeah, it bit me. Yep. I remember pulling it up too, and I was like, not me. And then I still found a way to FOMO into that shit. Damn it, B. It's all your fault. He didn't even respond to me on Twitter. He's probably laying in his hammock, drunk on martinis. Well, I guess you were watching my stream because I was like, I never said it in the ISW chat, but yeah. Should have been a cut at 35. I mean, when you look at this chart in hindsight, it's so obvious to see. And even going back and watching the live trade, it was so obvious. I even said it a bunch of times. I should cut here at 35. I should cut here at 35. I said it a bunch of times. I was like, it's consolidating here at 35. I should cut it. And my reasoning for not cutting it was because I still had plenty of room until my max loss. That was my only reason for not cutting it. It doesn't make any sense. It consolidated here at a whole dollar and then broke through. Cut the trade. That's the strategy. Shouldn't have been in this trade to begin with because it wasn't the setup I was looking for. But once I realized it wasn't working, should have been a cut right there. Should have been a red arrow here on this candle where it was, and then it should have been a green arrow right here. Whatever. Done and over with. But today you came back stronger and sat on your hands, which is very hard to do. Yeah, it was very hard to not trade today. But there was just nothing I liked today at all. I do it with GDT and Grub. I always pull up when GDT says he's in something, but when it's like Grub or Beyond Meat, like those types of stocks, I know I'm not going to play them, but I do like to just see what GDT says, or sees, not what he says. I like to just see what he's seeing. I always like to see what other people of similar trading styles are seeing, just so that I can learn, right? That's what this is all about. It's all about learning. Being in the chat room, that is a huge advantage because you get to see what everyone else is trading, not to follow them, but just to learn from them. So that's a pretty huge advantage if you ask me. I mean, granted, I can watch GDT live trade on YouTube every day as well when he posts, so you don't need to be in the chat room for that, but seeing it in live time is pretty cool too. And Grub was pretty hot. Same with damn cruise lines. I had RCL at I had this thing at 23.27, and I know that because I put a limit order in at 23.27 because that 23 is my wife's birthday and 27 is mine, and that was back at the lows. This thing got all the way back up here to $78. That's nuts. I think I sold, it was after this big move up, and it was right here. So I sold this in the low 40s. Yeah, it was like 41, I want to say. That's crazy. Or no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It was, here's the balance. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so it was like 36, 35, 36 area. That's crazy. So I still made over 10. It was like 12 points. But if I would have held, that's a long time to hold. Considering I don't think anyone predicted that What the heck did I just hit? Send the glue. Okay. I don't think anyone predicted that the stocks are going to make these kinds of moves. This is a pretty crazy rebound that these things... I mean, people are literally buying these stocks in anticipation of this being the price a year, 2 years from now. Not like where it should be right now. Because if anything, it should still be at the lows. They haven't even started cruising again yet. So it's like they haven't made money for 3 months. So it just makes no sense that it would bounce back up this high. At least like with the airlines, they're starting to fly again and whatnot. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me how the stock market is working. I mean, literally the economy had been closed all this time, and yet the SPY basically just V'd right the F back up. I mean, look at the daily on the SPY. It literally, we're just now opening back up. But if you scroll out on this and take a little wider look, I mean, that literally basically V'd straight up. I mean, granted, we're getting a pretty nice pullback here, but the fact that it even got that high is just, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I thought for sure with what was going on that this thing would maybe get like a relief bounce just from how big of a move down it was, maybe consolidate for a long period of time, like somewhere down near the lows, maybe even go lower when unemployment rates were coming. Like we were literally, we had unemployment rates going up. We had people losing their jobs. We had places going bankrupt. We had like all this stuff that's still happening, and the market's just going up. Like, what the heck? I mean, like I said, RCL, CCL, like all of these companies, they were moving upward. I mean, RCL is a pretty good one, moving upwards, and they've literally been out of operation for 3 months. I mean, Hertz literally claimed bankruptcy over here, and it shot all the way back up over $6. They literally claimed bankruptcy, and it went back up over $6 from like 70 cents. It's, what is going on? Just makes no sense. I made a nice chunk of change on NKLA run up. Yeah, that was one that like went way up and then way back down, right? Yeah, holy crap. It's actually still way up there. Wasn't this, where was this? $10? So it went from 10 to 35, came back down to 20, and then it ended up going all the way up to 94. That's crazy. It's nuts. Let's scroll out on this. I want to see if it'll let me. Look at that day right there. That's nuts. From 40 into the after hours all the way up to 95. That's nuts. I'm actually curious if you scroll in. I mean, even here, right? This is what I'm talking about. These are the moves you're looking for. Got a nice previous resistance. And see how it kind of grinded up to there? Made a resistance point, kind of consolidated, and then comes up and then boom, bust through, right? Those are the moves you're looking for. So this got to a high of 55.50 and pulls back all the way down to 53.10. So it gives you over a 2-point pullback. Granted, it's not what you would have been looking for if you're looking for it to come down and test that previous resistance. But then it continues. So at this point, if you didn't take any profit, you'd probably be looking to cut here, right? That was 4 minutes, maybe 5 before it actually got through. So I probably would be looking to cut there because obviously it wasn't done. But then you get another big rip, right? And then it halts. It actually halted. And then out of the halt is when you started coming back down. But look at what it did, right? It eventually did work its way right down to that previous resistance. And then the rest of the day, I guess it ended up going higher. But I say it all the time. You get those previous resistance, but on those big intense moves, the odds are you're going to come back down and try to retest that before you decide whether you're going to continue up or down. I mean, it happens all the time. And in this case, it decided to go higher. And look, let's see if it does it again here. Oh, crap. It's not what I wanted to hit. Okay. So again, previous resistance twice here, right? From earlier, hit it again, double top, and then we come through Nope, it didn't. It tried to come back down, but it didn't. But this wasn't as, I mean, look at these candles over here and the volume, and then look at these candles over here when it broke. There was almost like no volume. I mean, there was volume. It came back in a little bit, but not like it did over here. And the candles weren't as big, so it wasn't as intense of a move. And this thing, that's crazy. Can you imagine being the guy buying at 95 or whatever this was? Let's say 94.64, and you're like, oh, this thing's definitely going to hit 100 now, right? We're all the way up here. It's going to hit 100. And you're the guy that bought at 94.64. Can you imagine that? That would suck. The ultimate FOMO. You get bagged. Oh, did he get a chance to get out? Oh, he did. It actually got back up there. A lucky dog. But he probably held. Oh, we tried it again. Okay, I'm going to give it one more shot. All right, I'm done with that. What's your P&L chart looking like? My chart? It's not looking too bad. Let's see if that's what you want to look at. That's what. Oh, I guess you can't really see this. There we go. So since I started the 112, that's what it looks like. Had the one nice winner there, VRML, just steady gains. Oops. I don't even know how I did that. There we go. Steady gains, steady gains, steady gains. Remember, we started really small when we started doing the 112 again. Started scaling up, had the VRML trade where we got full size and got full return. And then steady gain, steady gain, steady gain. And then we had our one max loss. And that was pretty much our last trade so far. That was yesterday. And we didn't have any trades today. So we're getting there. Can't complain. Sitting at 94% win rate. Almost 4 on the profit factor. Kind of went in. I might actually go clip that part of the stream from this morning. There was some pretty good conversation going on there this morning. Make like a little live stream highlight or something. See you, Shore. Have a great weekend. See you Monday morning, maybe, or Monday in general. Yeah, guys, don't forget the Amazon gift card giveaways. So during the day when I release those videos, the recaps of the live trading, make sure you hit the like button on there. It'll increase the value of those gift cards. And as well, if you don't mind, if you like something in the video, let me know in the comment section below. I know the likes and the comments, it helps out the YouTube algorithm. So trying to just get more eyes on the channel. So my way of doing that is, I guess in a way, paying for it, right? By doing the gift cards. Get you guys to hit the like button. It's me giving back to you guys in a fun way, but at the same time trying to grow the channel. And we were just talking about it earlier. The reasoning for trying to grow the channel is to try to get to the new traders before the gurus, right? That's one of our goals, is to try to save some people from those gurus, right? And it does. It's a win-win, right? Daddy needs to make some money. You made me put that on my journal after today. What? I'm at 1.3. Oh, the profit factor. Nice. Oh, is that why you had asked me what's a good profit factor? You only thumbs up me because I'm part of the team? That's your reasoning? Tisk, tisk. Look at this crazy list that I had made for YouTube. It was like all the things that I wanted to do. Don't mind the middle. That's just the square footage of my yard. There's so many. I still need to make the last thing on here is I need to make a new intro. Even though I like my intro, but I have new tools to use. I figured I'd make it a little bit better. Give me the finger. I'm the one that's giving you the finger. You guys are going to see me on Monday. I'm going to be all trimmed up. I have a haircut. Oh, it's going to feel so nice. Won't have all this under here. I feel like a new man. I wonder if you have to make an appointment, though. I approve that finger. Oh, is that something you could do as a mod? That's awesome. I need to start bringing up the chat that way again. That's awesome. I use the restream chat, so if somebody's on Twitch watching, it'll come up through there. It all comes up on just one chat. It doesn't ask me if I want to approve the messages or not. Wonder how many. I guess having the mods, that's a good thing. You can check that for me. Stupid Roomba's trying to trap me. You guys have any questions? I think I might just go ahead and get out of here. Kind of dwindled down. Speaking of gurus, did you see Ross live trade today? He made over 80K dinging these insane scalps with pretty big size. 80K is nothing for him this week. He made like 110 the one day, and then literally the next day he made like 130. 80, that's a drop in the bucket. Oh, I love the Roomba, man. We have 2 pugs, and they shed so bad. That Roomba, every morning when I empty that thing, it is full of dog hair. I don't understand it. I run that thing. It runs every night, and it still finds a whole thing full of dog hair every day. It's crazy. Yeah, you didn't. It's ROOMBA. But yeah, it's awesome. There's plenty of like knockoff ones that you can get because the actual Roombas are pretty expensive. But we got one as a wedding gift 9 years ago, and that thing lasted like 6 years. And so we decided to invest and get another one because we liked it so much. It was obviously a newer one, but yeah, Jeff, we're not going to get into that. But yes, he is scalping. He does scalp. I've also noticed he's been taking a lot of pre-market trades lately, which is very unlike him. Now keep in mind, I don't follow Ross, but I've been I get my Ross dose through people on YouTube and Discord and stuff like that. So I always know what he's up to. I don't actually like go watch his videos, not anymore. Same with a couple other gurus. You just kind of, once you've been trading long enough, you start to kind of see through a lot of stuff. So you just realize that the content that you're watching is no longer valuable to you and your time. So watching it is really, unless you're getting a form of entertainment from it, then that's fine. Like if you're watching it as like your TV kind of thing. But you start to realize that that kind of content is not going to improve you overall. I mean, there might be one little nugget of gold in there like every once in a while, but don't hold your breath. New modem and router? You need a new modem and router for? I mean, I know the difference that a new modem and router can make, but in most cases, they're not going to do that big of it. Well, you did say your son's getting into gaming and he just built a computer and stuff, so I thought he was maybe front running, but if you watch it, it's really not possible anyone is following him. Okay. I'm not going to agree or disagree. Like I said, I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. But I don't disagree with you. But I don't agree with you. All I can say is if you do go back and watch his trades, I will say that when he trades, he does influence a stock price. I don't know personally how he can get, I'm not saying he pumps the stocks, and he willingly tells every one of his students to not follow him, right? So whether he's playing the game there or if he's legitimately telling them not to follow him, it doesn't really matter because he's doing his due diligence. He's telling them, look, don't follow me. You're not going to be able to trade exactly like I do. I'm in and out so fast. But when he tells his chat room that he's entering a stock, he influences the price of that stock, because now he has 2,000 plus people, especially when he's trading live on YouTube. He has 2,000 plus people that now know that Ross is not only interested in playing the stock, but he's actually trading it. And they know that he scalps it over and over again for the most part. Like, that's how he makes a lot of his money. He's in and out, in and out, in and out. So now he has 2,000 plus people trying to do the same thing. So whether it's directly or indirectly, he is influencing the price of that stock. So I'm not saying he's purposely front running. I'm not saying he's doing any of that, but whether, again, it's direct or indirect, he is moving that stock price by influence. And then a main desktop as well. I've been killing the Surface Pro with trading and working. Yeah, you definitely, having a main desktop is definitely nice to have. I love my computer. I always say I would be so lost. Like, if one day I have a surge, like one of them really nice battery backup surge protectors, that's one of the most important things you can buy, because I can't imagine somebody basically having their life on a computer and then like having a bad storm or something and just fry their computer. That would suck. Also, always randomly make backups of your computer. It's like one of the best things you can do. Stick it on an external, because you never know when something might happen. You never know when Windows might just say, hey, I hate you. Or Mac, the damn Apple piece of crap. I'm running a i7 7700K. Yeah, 7700K. Might even be a 7750. It's been a while since I've put this together. I don't always remember the specs. It's loading. Yeah, I didn't get any news, any update. The only update that I got was that they were told by crap, now I'm forgetting the name of the company that they used. The one that was supplying the accounts, they're the ones that just told TradeNet, look, we're not accepting US customers anymore. It's like a 4-letter name. I can't, if you said it I would know. Yeah, it's an i7 7700. I can't remember the name of it to save the life of me. But yeah, let me just check. No, it's gonna bother me. I think I still have it up in my Yeah, I sent them an email trying to get more information. They said, thank you for your email. Kindly be advised that TradeNet has made the decision to discontinue the referral of any U.S. persons purchasing an education package due to an issued statement where TEFS, is who it was, stated that as of end of business day, June 1st, 2020, it will not be accepting additional U.S. service providers. TradeNet will continue to review its offerings with a view toward providing its students with a suite of content and related offerings that will prepare its students for a life of day trading. Existing students will continue to use all services. Access to educational materials will not be affected. Unfortunately, upgrading of educational packages will not be possible, because that's basically like opening a new account anyway, just with more money. So it's not TradeNet that stopped. It was the person that was providing their accounts, which was TEFS. And that was I couldn't get any more information out of them. I even messaged TEFS, emailed them asking, and they never responded. Yeah. Well, yeah, we all know that. That's the thing with Mir. I don't mind openly talking about that, but the dude is basically using a paper account, right? Whether he wins or loses, it comes out of his account. If he wins, he's paying himself with his own money. If he loses, he pays himself with his own money. So he can openly trade these huge trades. And the reason he doesn't go bigger is because he's trying to stay realistic. But to me, it just makes no sense. I don't understand how people don't understand that. If you know that he owns both of these, it's like you can put two and two together. What's going on? Yeah, I'm running a 1080 CPU's i7700K. Running it on a Z270 motherboard. I have 32 gigs DDR4 at 40. I thought they were at 3800. I might be overclocking them, I guess. I don't remember when I put all this stuff in there, to be completely honest. Intensive. This says they're at 20. So technically I'm not. I'm pretty sure these are 3600 sticks. 36 or 38. These I get, because they always go to, they default at your lowest setting, so maybe I just never changed them. That might be something I want to look into, actually. Let me open a tab. I have to go look at my BIOS and check it out. Because I know it's not 2132. I'm pretty sure they're... well, here it says they're 3000s. Maybe there are 3000s. But still, they're not. They shouldn't be running at 2132. But I know they usually default to the lowest setting. You have to go in BIOS. And I did add 2 sticks later on. So I actually have 4 8GB sticks. So maybe that's why. Maybe when I put the 2 other ones in, I didn't go back into the BIOS and change it. I'll leave that up there for tomorrow. I mean, to be completely honest, I haven't had to overclock them, and I render all my videos with my graphics card, so I haven't really. It hasn't been an issue. I've never any game program, anything I throw at this thing. It's been fine. Yeah, he owns TEFS, TradeNet, and even some Colmex. So I just figured maybe the government was cracking down on them. Oh, that's 100% what's happening. Because they openly trade CFDs. They tell you that's what you're trading is CFDs. And trading CFDs in the United States is illegal. So I think the United States said, yo, no more. Like, we can't allow U.S. citizens to come to you to trade CFDs. It's just not how it works. But in a way, you know, everyone says, well, does that worry you? Because you're avoiding the PDT. It's kind of the same thing with CMEG. Like, CMEG's allowing you to do something you're not allowed to do in the United States. And I was like, yeah, I really think the United States knows that PDT is kind of a joke. I don't think PDT is going to be around forever. I do think that eventually it'll disappear. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, because you have these platforms, Robinhood, Webull, all these platforms now that have free commissions. So all the people that have less than 25 grand, they can still invest without needing the $25,000 and kind of freely for the most part. So I don't think they're going to be too worried about it anytime soon. But it is pretty stupid. I mean, what I always just relate it to a casino. A lot of people relate trading to gambling anyway. So what's different about me wanting to educationally try to invest, say, into, not invest, but educationally trade stocks based on theories with, say, $10,000 over and over again, when I can take that $10,000 into a casino and just bet on any of the casino games that I want. Throw it in the slots, play roulette, blackjack, whatever it may be. What's the difference? Right? You actually have less odds of probably winning at the casino than you would trading. At least trading, you either pick and it goes up or down, right? It's a 50-50 shot. Versus the casino, most of those games, you have way less than a 50% edge to win. So it doesn't make any sense to me. All right, shoot some questions at me. We got to 11:40, so I got 4.5 minutes. If I don't get any new good questions, I'm going to get out of here. I didn't even think I'd be on here this long. It's crazy. Can't believe it's almost midnight. You guys be keeping me up. Saturday is my only day to sleep in. I was going to try to talk my mom into taking my oldest or my youngest tomorrow night, but we shall see. Speaking of which, if you want to talk strategy, hit the join button down below. $9.99. I think it's $9.99. It's $10. We'll talk strategy tomorrow night. It's going to be our first Saturday night strategy talk. But you got to be a member. You got to say, Tim, I support you. But I understand if you don't. It's fine. I'm not begging for you to do it. I'm just letting you know the options there. You support the channel, I support you. We're one big happy family. It's the whole point of this. Grow together. I want people to stick around, right? The longer you can stick around, the more you learn, the more odds you have of being part of that 10% that everybody wants to be a part of. Yeah, man, I'm done. It was nice and fun. See you later, boss. See you, Tom. Have a good weekend. I know you will. I feel like you are very much the same as me. Very much a family man. I can tell just by in the way that we talk. Have you ever tried to trend trade? I notice you like to climatic reversal, but it seems you have a good look on when the move back up is going to happen. You know, I have to be an OG. Call me anything but late for dinner. I always say I don't understand why I don't reverse my position when I stop out. And I really do think eventually I'm going to try doing that. Like, for instance, let's take a look at Serve. When we traded this, we're way too far back here. So when we traded this, we were in on this candle, and then it's consolidated here at 35. Well, when it broke this 35 area, we should have known, right? The reason we should have exited there is because the odds are this thing was going to do something like this. So I always tell myself this. Why not just reverse my position when I'm stopping out? Because the odds are the stock's going to continue that direction. So you are onto something, Cadence. You're onto something, and it is something I've always said. I've always said this from the beginning, that eventually, after we build the account some, I will feel more confident to try stuff like that. So that is coming. I promise you. It's always been something I talk about. There's a piece of toast under my Roomba, piece of play toast. I literally spit it out. I didn't even have to grab it. I have a button for reversal. Yeah. The thing is, I wouldn't want to reverse off of my pure position size, because say you only had one entry, like on this trade, it would be much different. I would want to have a key area to risk off of, which would most like in this case, you could see the clear support forming here, 3470 area. So I'd be risking under that, right? So I'd want to have a button where I would have to look at Constantine's hot buttons, because he has one where you can click on the chart and you double click on the chart, see, like that. So I guess technically, but then when you double click on the chart, it'll risk it based off of that amount. So like if I click here, like if I double click, 3466 will pop up, and then he has a hotkey where you can hit it and it'll base your stop off of that number, and then it'll give you the shares appropriate to how much you want to risk. So like if your max loss is $100, that's how much it would figure out the share size based off of where you clicked. So it's definitely there, and it's something I will be doing in the future, just not right now. But yeah, It's definitely something, because I wish I had more losses to go back and show you. Like where well, actually, we can look at ones where I stop out, like on the remainder. Let's do that real quick. This will be the last thing we do. So set up, stop at high of day, and stop at, I guess we can do stop at break even because they're pretty much one and the same. I don't think, yeah, okay. So this should be, I guess, pivot exit would probably be in there. We can just check scale, or we can put the 75s. Well, I can't do, well, yeah, 75, 60, 100% should be in there too, because some of those for the 100% they came back up. Okay, anyways, let's scroll through these real quick. So no, on this one I probably wouldn't have did anything. It's not really what we're looking for. TZA. So yeah, like here's a decent one, right? You had a pretty obvious spot here where if it went high of day, you'd be looking for it to continue, which it did, right? It kind of faked out here and came back down, but then it shot right back up. I remember that was kind of a quick mover. Oxy. Yeah, we just played this one pretty well. But same thing. We had our stop at high of day here. So if it wanted to go through high of day, you would think that'd be a proper spot, right? It pulled back and it wanted to go high of day and it goes through. So that's the only issue with a strat like this is where's your stop, right? That's the thing. It's like, do you really want your stop all the way down here below that pullback? Because that's so far away. That's the only issue you have with breakout trades is it's like, where's your stop? Where's your take profit? So this was just a good scale out. So yeah, here's a very good example on VERI. So we pretty much top ticked this, pretty much bottom ticked our 75% cover, but then when it went high of day, it's like, what's to stop you from, switching your position? It did go back against you a little bit, but then ultimately this thing ripped up even higher, right? It's like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, like, where would your stop be when you do that? That's another thing that always kind of confused me with it, and that's why I've never really even attempted to do it. This was kind of a bad stop out. I think we stopped out at break even on, no, it wasn't even break even. Our entry's all the way up there. I don't know why we stopped out on this one for the last bit. Doesn't really make too much sense. Oh, that was when I was trying a trail. I remember that now. We weren't using pivots or anything. We actually were using a trail. And that thing spiked up on us and stopped us out. Kind of annoying to look at. I think that might have been the last one. Not VRMO. That was such a good trade. BZUN. Another good trade. And these are what my typical trades look like for the most part. This week was just an off week. And that was another good one. It's only a double exit though. Didn't keep any. That's got to be the last one. Yeah, that was the last one. There's some amazing hotkeys floating around from DAS, from Bull Bear Traders. You might like check some of their videos on your channel. Yeah, I've actually checked some of those out. A lot of those are like buying power related. They use a lot of buying power type hotkeys. But yeah, maybe I'll have to go back over there and see if they got anything cool. Oh, excuse me. But any more questions? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Anybody? Bueller? Is there really 12 people still here? It's crazy. Good constant flow, if that's the case. Actually, you know what? Let me make a tab. Let's see, bearable traders DOS. Oops, that's not what I. All right, have that up for tomorrow. I'm always studying. You too, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Good questions. I appreciate your presence tonight. Seriously, it always helps to interact with everybody. The engagement is pretty key to me. To sit here and try to talk to myself for even an hour, you know, it's kind of pointless. The interaction is very much appreciated, but I can't post the video for you if you need. What do you mean? What video? Oh, the video that you're talking about? Yeah, feel free to get in. Oh, or is it saying you can't because of the link? Hold on. Let me pull up the chat. Are you in the Discord? Join the Discord. You can send it to me in there. I do appreciate everybody stopping by. I am going to get out of here. Yeah, if you want to drop that link off in the Discord, I'd appreciate it. Have a good weekend, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out. It helps the stream, helps the YouTube thingy-majigger, gets more people, gets more eyes on, all that good stuff. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why you're not subscribed. Valuable content coming out all days of the week. Hit the button. Hit it. Have a good weekend. I will see you guys if you're coming to the strategy talk tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. And if not, I will see you Monday morning. Peace.